Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
It's the morning show with Boomer and Gio.
All right, it's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody. Working hard.
Got put in a position where we could have won and we could have took the game, but we gave it back to him. I put that all on us. We got to play better. I know Dave's going to take the blame and Dave's going, it's his fault and this and that. At the end of the day, we playing and we got to make that play. They was in the position where they was at the disadvantage, so that's our fault.
Giants now falling to 2-5. Denver a 5-2 team. Could be worse. Could be the Jets, who are now 0-7. Lost to the Panthers 13-6. Only one touchdown scored. A Bryce Young touchdown pass. Justin Fields pulled at halftime in favor of Tyrod Taylor. Sunday Night Football, the Niners beat Falcons 20-10. Monday Night Football doubleheader. Both games on the Fan. The Bucs in Detroit. Seahawks host the Texans. Blue Jays beat the Mariners 6-2, taking Game 6 and forcing a decisive 7th game in Toronto. George Kirby, Shane Bieber, the starters there. The winner gets the Dodgers in the World Series. NHL tonight, the Rangers skate with the Wild. This report brought to you by Paramus Chevrolet and by Moderna. It's 62 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN, The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Just can't happen, BT. You can't lose a game like that. You can't give up 33 points in the fourth quarter, and there's a lot of blame to go around. For me, primarily, it is on the defense and is on the coaching. That's the only way that you could possibly lose a game that was near impossible to lose. So whether you want to focus on Dable or certainly the defense, and the number one thing for me, even after all the chaos and the questionable calls that the Giants had on, a drive with 3 minutes to go, running the ball a couple times, whatever, we could break down the nuance of it. But let's just get down to the final dart touchdown. Giants have a lead again with under 40 seconds to go. They do the same thing that they did in Dallas by playing off. You could see it right away before the play was snapped. The ball was snapped. 3 down linemen. I'm thinking, what are you doing? You know that 30 seconds or so is an eternity in the NFL to get 40 yards to get in the field goal range. And that's exactly what happened. One play, boom, 30 yards. Another play, boom, field goal range. Game over. They did not learn from their mistakes in Dallas. That, to me, is my biggest issue or biggest gripe with this disgusting loss.
You're right. Disgusting's the word, dude. I mean, you can watch... Giant fans can watch 50 years of football, and excluding a playoff game, if you lose that, where that's just a different level of hurt, you'll never go through a day like this again, ever. Absolutely unacceptable on every level. And the way they melted down from a coaching perspective, from an execution perspective, you're right, there's a lot of blame to go around here, but, I think I'm sitting there, Sal, and I know I'm not alone, right? I'm sitting there, I'm saying, well, now I went in with minimal expectations. I was excited to watch the game. I wanted to see where the Giants were. I wanted to see how they were stacking up because they were building this juice and this momentum. And as the game's going on and the Giants are destroying, they are absolutely kicking the crap out of a Broncos team that we know is good in their house. My mind's going to places like, are they going to beat Philly again next week? Or are the Giants going to just keep climbing this mountain? And to me, that is the most distressing type of loss here. So, I'll tell you what I would do. I would fire the coordinator. Bowen would be out of a job. He would not be allowed back in the building. And the bigger question, and you're right, I get it. It's got to come down to players at some point. and you got to make a stop with 32 seconds to go. But when you're not put in the right position again, when they learn nothing from Dallas, I would fire Bowen.
Yeah, I mean,
I would fire him.
I don't know, fire coach, whatever. I'm just trying to talk about the game and actually what happened yesterday. So there were multiple things with it, whether it's the missed extra points, whether it is that playing off again. See, the Giants coach a game like it's 1980. The problem is it's 2025. Even Dable with 3 minutes to go and Sean Payton wisely using his timeouts with 5 minutes to go, putting the pressure on the Giants to make plays. 3.5 minutes ago, like the Giants said they're going to run the ball. First down, run it with Skattebo into the line. Okay, Broncos, stop it. Second down, run the ball into the line again with Skattebo. Broncos, stop it. Now third down, you're forced to throw the football, and they do that, and then that stops the clock. My issue is the way that the Giants handled that from the beginning, where you can't be playing conservative. Running 2 straight plays there, it's not going to get it done. Be aggressive. So they changed what they were doing early on. Like 3.5 minutes to go in a tight game like that, that's not the way to run. You're not going to run the clock out. Can't even do that with 40 seconds, run the clock out. So it's a different NFL. So whether it's the missed extra point, whether it is the conservative play calling from Dable, Kafka, whether it is the extremely conservative play calling again defensively from Bowen, the lack of execution from the defensive players, offsides again from Kayvon Thibodeau in a big spot, Burns not being able to get back. The Broncos beat them to a pulp in that fourth quarter, and that to me is, now obviously the Super Bowl is a different story because it's the Super Bowl, but 28-3 late third quarter lead, blown lead, this was worse. I don't know how you can blow that big of a lead, allowing 33 points in the fourth quarter.
I don't know that any fan base has sat there and gone through what the Giants went through yesterday. I mean, it's one thing like when there's one thing that goes awry and it's a catastrophic loss because something just incredibly unexpected happened, whether it's a coaching malfunction, a player misfunction, whatever, a refereeing, officiating malfunction or misfunction, whatever it might be. There were so many different chances for the Giants to get back to what they were doing to start the game. And you know that, and they never did it. They jumped on them early, had multiple leads, multiple touchdowns, multiple chances where they could have gone back and they could have tried things that were working, and I just don't understand. We see this in every sport, Sal. When you come out and you're flowing and you're playing well, then eventually a good team like Denver is going to make a move. So even when you're up 19-zip going into the fourth quarter, you know that you should think you're probably not going to cruise and win 30-0. There's going to be a push at some point, but I don't understand why coaches they get so tight, whether it's a coordinator or a head coach, and I don't get it. We see this all the time. Managers going to the bullpen, coaches stopping, whether it's being aggressive or being too conservative in terms of play call. We talk about players getting tight. The Giants coaching staff got very tight, and I know there are so many different checkpoints to the game, and this is what makes Monday a tough dance and I did say fire Bowen, and I mean that. Yeah. I would not allow him to come back.
But were you thinking that through the first 3 quarters?
No, I wasn't, but that doesn't matter. It's what happens at the end of the game.
You're gonna fire.
And by the way, it happened in Dallas too.
Well, that's my point.
But he doesn't learn from his mistakes.
Well, who's the head coach?
Listen, I'm not exonerating Dable.
Well, he's the head coach. Did they not learn as a team from what happened in Dallas?
Yeah.
It was the same exact thing.
Defensively, no, which is grounds for termination. And offensively, I mean, everybody tells me how good Dable is offensively. Here he is. I mean, he doesn't even know how to run that final play. Tiki crushed it. I thought Tiki was really good postgame. This is such an easy read. Run it, timeout. Run it, timeout. Run it, timeout. Punt. You've got a possession to play with. So, no, I'm not exonerating Dable, but Bowen is a disaster. And when you heard Burns going into the locker room screaming, he's yelling at his coordinator, not at Dable.
Yeah, defense couldn't do enough on their own. They couldn't stop a 2-point conversion. Like, when losses like this happen, it's not just one thing. Like, you can't singularly say, well, Dable didn't coach a good game, or Bowen is the problem, or the kicker, or the defense. It's everything. Jaxson Dart making a huge rookie mistake. Hey, it happens. You have to live with it. That's what happens with a rookie, but it all added up to the loss. My main issue would be for the defense that looked lights out. During that game, Denver, to me, is the best defense in the NFL. We're saying that throughout the course of the week. The Giants were playing a better defensive game than Denver was the majority of the game. And then the fourth quarter happened. It's never happened in the history of the NFL before where a team's been shut out through 3 quarters and then scored 33 points in the fourth. So that is clearly on the defensive players. And it's not like they're tired from what? I mean, what are you doing here? You were playing a clean game. The offense is moving the football. This is not like the Giants offense was having them on the field all day long. So the defense to me is the main culprit. And the fact that the Giants as a whole, Dable and Bowen, didn't learn learn from exactly the same situation to how they coughed up that Dallas game. They did the same exact thing this time. So that to me is on coaching, but a combination of a lot of things, which leads up to, I mean, I don't know how you could have a worse loss other than it being on a bigger stage. If this were a playoff game or certainly the Super Bowl, that's it. Other than that, pound for pound, this is as bad a loss you could possibly have.
I agree. I mean, does any team have kicking issues like the Giants? I mean, this happened last year. This happens all the time. It's really, really, it's a crusher because it changes everything about the season. And
season, it basically ruins the season. I mean, now
there's no question about it. Well, it destroys the season.
Well, now they have to win next week. We talked about it going in. They had to win one of these next two games.
Yeah.
But the problem is that you're thinking, well, wow, we got this one in the bag. And now at 3-4, everything is realistic in front of them, whether it would be sweeping the Eagles or even if they did lose that game. Okay, bounce back and go take care of the Niners. That type of loss in that spot to me all but finishes the Giants for this year. The only way to make up for it is now you have to rattle off 3 in a row or something like that.
You got to beat teams you're not going to be favored to beat, whether it's Philly, whether it's the Niners. Yep, no, the road just got incredibly complicated. And listen, I know Giant fans want to get going. We'll get to these calls early, but I thought Gio said something pretty good in the morning. He actually took the approach like a silver lining, and I get it. And I don't think that it was just like, oh, let me just wake up and be happy. I get what he was saying. Like there's you've got the quarterback. There's no doubt. Jaxson Dart, I mean, I'm going to go nuts here, but I mean, what level of stardom he's going to hit, I don't know. And I'll give him a chance to figure things out. But that young man has it. Whatever it is, he's got it. All right, he's got it. But so the silver lining's there. But now the question is, and this is one of many questions for the Giants, do you have the coaches to help elevate the rest of, whether it's the defense or a young quarterback? My answer is no. But again, there's so many things from within the game that we obviously want to hit. Just a destruction of emotions for the Giant fan. And the entire season changed on a dime because they collapsed and they choked.
BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. David is calling from Union, New Jersey. What's up, David?
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Hey, Dave.
So I wanted to talk to you guys about that collapse yesterday. I know it's not a game that catastrophic. It's not on one person, but bulk of that blame got to go to Shane Bowen and Joe Shane. I mean, yeah, the secondary wasn't strong to begin with, but then we lose Holland and Debo, and we got players that shouldn't be on the field. Like, I know beating Deonte Banks is like beating a dead horse, but man, every time this guy's on the field, he just bad stuff happens. He's like a bad.
Yeah, but he's not the reason they allowed. He's not the reason they allowed 33 points in the fourth quarter.
No, 100% not.
Like, let's keep making individual scapegoats. This is a team effort here. It's not just Bowen. It's not just Deonte Banks. There's a lot there. The rookie made a major mistake as well. So just make sure you go.
100%,
the kicker missed kicks. Dable, I thought, coached a conservative, if not flat out scared game in the fourth quarter. Like, there is a Kayvon Thibodeau offsides. Burns couldn't get back. Like, there is a litany of reasons why the Giants lost that game.
Yeah,
and I think it's easy 100%. To pick up. Yeah, okay, well, good.
So the thing that gets me upset is Shane Bowen. I mean, how many times do we got to talk about this guy not learning from his mistakes? I mean, I've seen this already this season alone with the Dallas game. I mean, we have arguably a top 5, top 10 pass rush in the NFL. And on one of the last plays, you give these guys 30 seconds to go down the field, and you're rushing 3?
Makes no sense.
Dexter Lawrence wasn't even on the field. I mean, what are we even talking about? That's our best defensive player. He's not even on the field.
You know what, David, too? And this happened, and thanks for the call. This obviously happened in the Cowboys game. So you would think that Shane Bowen would have learned here, but even if he didn't experience the Cowboys game, Sal, we see this all the time. Now, not where there's 33 points in the fourth quarter and multiple big leads choked away. I don't mean that, but how many times have we come on in the air, whether it's the Jets, the Giants, or other good teams or other teams in big games, where we're like, man, how does such a basic premise, such a basic concept of attacking rather than laying back, how do these coaches not learn from it?
I don't understand. It's not 1980. It's not 1990 anymore. It's not even 2000 or 2010. The game has changed where 30, 40 seconds is an eternity. It's an eternity. We all knew what was going to happen once the Giants scored, and you can't really question them because I started thinking back like, man, he scored too early. But what are you going to do? You need to score a touchdown. It's not like you're in front right there. They had to score a touchdown, and there's a chance that if you don't go in right there, you're not getting in again. So if the opportunity presents itself, it's almost bad luck. Like, it's bad luck that they actually got in at that particular point. You'd like to get in even if it's the next play and have some clock come off, because you know what's going to happen. Even if the kid makes the extra point, they're still coming down minimum and kicking a game-tying field goal. And it's happened way too often. But knowing that anyway, the fact that they could line up and have 3 down linemen, like, what are we doing here? That makes no sense whatsoever, especially for a team who just got burnt by that in week 2.
That's the exact opposite of what you should do. I mean, we could say this for 4 hours. It's not going to change anything, and it's not going to change, which is why, to me, Bowen just has to go, which he won't, because it won't even change him, because he's been through this, learned nothing, and when I see that twice, then I just don't believe in you.
Tom is calling from Howell, New Jersey. What's up, Tom?
Tommy.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, bud.
Obviously, a lot to unpack with this, but just 1 or 2 points which may go unnoticed. In terms of day balls, first of all, just a side point, when you said Dart got in too early, I was hoping the official review was going to say he didn't get in there, just so that there was clock taken off. But
the problem is there's no guarantee, especially against that defense, that you're getting in again. So
yeah, Skattebo with 3 chances on the 1 yard line. I'll take my chances with that.
I mean, but you could also say you'd rather take your chances with a lead, even if it's a 2-point lead with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, well, I saw from the Cowboy game, there wasn't much trust in Bowen calling that situation.
Man.
But, when Burns, you mentioned Burns not getting back. Obviously, Burns has got to get back. But, let's give some credit to Burns over there. I thought Dable freezed up over there. I happened to be listening on the radio. I was driving the car. They threw it down to Howard. Bob threw it down to Howard, and Howard's like, during pregame warmups and whatever, the kicker's hitting from 63, 64. Now, they were on the 48-yard line after that completion. Burns slow getting back. That penalty is the difference between being in field goal range and being out of field goal range. How Dable doesn't use a timeout there, and then they're spiking the ball anyway. You're not saving them any clock, maybe 1 or 2 seconds, and then to use it after that. To me, that was just mind-boggling. That could have been, obviously they got the completion afterwards, but that could have been the difference between a 69-yard field goal and a 63-yard field goal, which in today's NFL, 63 is like, 45.
Well, especially
which is another thing with the Giants. How many times did the Giants punt the ball instead of attempting a 55-yard attempt? I mean, at numerous times a game this happens, that they punted.
He should have called the timeout there.
65 out.
The Giants gave away with the Burns play, and thank you for the call, Tom. That's why I'm saying there's a million different plays. With the Burns play not getting back, and obviously he was hobbled, so the coach should have used a timeout there to save him the 5 yards. The Kayvon Thibodeau offside, another 5 yards there that resulted in a first down, just making things easy. Couldn't get a 2-point conversion stop. Like, if one of those things happen in favor of the Giants, maybe we'd have a different result today. So it was a litany of mistakes, and I think overall, I know the focus is going to be on Bowen and the defense, and I do think the defensive players did not do their job. Obviously, Bowen, but Dable's the head coach, and I don't think he coached a particularly. He coached an awful fourth quarter.
When you're up 19-zip, you're up 26-8 with 5.5 to go, and you're up 32-30 with 33 seconds to go. There are a lot of meltdowns. Whether it's coaches, whether it's a team loss. Now, the coaches are the ones who are going to take the hit, rightfully so. That's a bad sign, and I almost don't want to push this too far. We have all day to get all to all this stuff here, but when your coach tightens up like that, that's a very bad sign.
Mary calling from Long Island has a different theory. What happened there, Mary?
I'm blaming it on Bob Papa.
Huh.
I was listening on. We were driving home from a long trip, and we were listening on the radio. And first of all, I started to fall in love with him because he was so excited. You could hear it in his voice when the Giants were scoring, and they were really packing it on and doing so great, because that's what the fans felt. We were all screaming in the car. It was wonderful.
Okay.
And when have you felt like that at a Giant game? And all of a sudden, he says, and I can't remember what part of the game it was, he said, they better be careful because, and he mentioned some game this year. Forgive me, I'm not a guy. I don't remember what game, what team he played.
All right.
But they said something about the fact that, they came back on this other team big time. They better be careful. And all of a sudden, the air went out of the car. It was like, come on, don't say.
Well, Mary, I mean, how many times?
No.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. I don't want to challenge
sorry.
Mary. Go ahead.
No, I just think to myself, all right, so they let that up. So then Carl Banks says at one point, and this was advice, too bad they don't have the earpieces on the field and they could hear him. He said, you better hold on to that ball. You better hold on to the ball. Bingo, problems begin.
Well,
I wasn't a fumble, the interception, it was like, oh, come on.
they got to do their job, Mary. They got to do their job.
Yeah, I can't blame Bob or Carl, certainly, or anybody who tweeted about it prematurely, and there were a lot of people taking victory laps before that game went final there, especially Giant fans, media members, Giant fans, all celebrating the win before it actually happened. I'm watching that game in real time thinking, there's no, like, if they lost this game, this would be worse than Deshaun Jackson. This is on par with the Super Bowl loss. Again, relatively speaking, I know doing it in the postseason or certainly the Super Bowl was worse pound for pound, but I actually still could not believe that they lost that game. So there's reason to blame a lot of different people. Bob Papa or Carl Banks wouldn't make my top 50.
No, and how many top 50? How many times have they said something like that in their relationship on the radio where they, similar. Now, again, maybe not giving up 33 points in the fourth quarter. I get that. But where they say, hey, you better not give the ball back.
Yeah.
And then the Giants actually do what they say and the Giants win, but nobody references that. So it is just a catastrophic, all-encompassing meltdown. I mean, for 3 hours, you were living the high life. And then back down in the dumps and the entire season changed. It stinks.
Such a significant change of events with that one loss. Either way, a loss would have hurt and probably ended their season as far as being a playoff team or having hopes, but to have it happen like that, now, it's not all bad for the Giants. We'll get to that later on, 888-808-1019, but we have to start with a brutal loss, so we'll get more on the phone from you guys. Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer in New York for over 92 years, and right now, rates are low. It's time to lock in for the upcoming winter before the cold weather drives prices up. Call today and lock in your low rate. While there's no guarantee your team will win every Sunday, it's a lock that Approved Oil will have you feeling worry-free this winter. Approved Oil has been delivering a brighter and warmer tomorrow for almost a century. If you want a lower heating bill, it has to be Approved Oil. Visit freeztherate.com.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
Fell down as he pulled away. Hits the deck.
It's a special Monday Night Football doubleheader kicking off at 7 o'clock tonight with the Bucs and Lions followed by the Texans and Seahawks.
Running in. Touchdown.
The NFL on FAN, 1019 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who's going to win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel's giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. Get in on the act with a 30% profit boost token this Monday. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/BT to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/BT to jump in on the fun with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. We love the app around here. It's simple to use, easy to navigate, and when you win, you get paid right away. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable. Profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Together, let's drive at Paramus Chevrolet. For just $227 a month and $2,004 due at delivery, lease a brand new Equinox 4D Wagon LT with two-wheel drive for 36 months. Buying? Enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Mnexspike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5. The smart choice from those who expect more from their drive. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 gives you confidence in every condition. Its effortless handling and responsive performance set it apart from the crowd. Inside, you'll find thoughtful crafted design for comfort and connection. There's more to a Mazda. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
London Jewelers presents their annual watch fair at the Americana Manhasset Friday, October 24th through Sunday, October 26th from noon to 5 p.m. Experience the latest collections of distinctive timepieces from the world's most prestigious watch brands. From selection to service, London Jewelers is a trusted, authorized retailer for the world's finest watch brands. Come to the London Jewelers Annual Watch Fair at the Americana Manhasset Friday, October 24th through Sunday, October 26th. London Jewelers, since 1926.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
BT Sal back on The Fan. 888-808-1019, the number to call after just a disgusting loss yesterday. Like I know that I don't want to even say sugarcoating it. I know that there's a good side of things as it pertains to New York Giants football. The fact that, they beat the Chargers a couple weeks ago, smashed the Eagles. They have their young quarterback, should have beaten the Broncos, looking competitive. However, that does not excuse or make the loss yesterday feel any bit better. It doesn't for me. You're now looking at a 2-5 season that, is essentially over when it should have been 3-4 and hoping to beat the Eagles for a second straight time. So I know that there is some good and hope and excitement around Jaxson Dart. Sure, to me, now is not the time for that off of that performance yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's probably as delicate a mental dance that you could possibly do because as a fan, the thing that drives me the most nuts is never having a franchise quarterback. It is It is the definition of being hopeless. I mean, it really is. And, the Giants have that. And, that spark. And, again, to what degree? I don't know. I mean, is he going to be an all-pro? Is he going to be a Pro Bowler? Is he going to be merely very good? We'll see. But there's no doubt Jaxson Dart has an amazing future that's very tantalizing in front of him. So you've got that, but then you've got the reality of an epic crash in the fourth quarter, a devastating loss, and probably a couple of coaches that you don't believe in at all.
I mean, think about it this way. To have that type of performance on the road against a team like Denver, and you could think that Denver isn't good. I could think that they're better than most people. Whatever it may be, they have one of the best defenses, if not the best, in the NFL, and they are very good. They were a playoff team a year ago. To have that type of a lead, like, this is not about, well, next year it's going to be even better. Okay, maybe it'll be better next year, but how is it going to get any better than what they just did in Denver in that particular spot? I guarantee that is not going to be something that's going to be more often than not on the road. Jaxson Dart or not, Skattebo or not, new coach or not. That is, like, they were in it. Forget about next year. Right now. They were in it right now. Had that huge lead, had dominated Denver on the road, shut that crowd up and that team up. And
it was quiet in there, boy.
It would have taken a miracle for Denver to come back and win that game. Giants had them beat. Dead to rights. Now. Not next year, not the future. Right now. And they blew that game. So it's hard for me to believe that things would change in a year. Okay, does Dart make that same mistake? Maybe not, but maybe other players make a mistake. Like that is, you're never going to play a perfect game, but to have everything go the way that it went, to blow that game, coaching, defense, kicker, quarterback, all of it, that to me is just unacceptably, disgustingly bad.
Yeah, the only way it gets better, and you actually just hit on it. Yeah, sure, better play calling, coaching, whatever. There's so much time to discuss that. But the way it gets better is, Jaxson Dart now sees something different with the defense and either spikes it or takes a knee and lets the clock tick. And that's where the maturation is going to come in. And I have no doubt that it's going to be there because he's an incredibly mature. I mean, his physical gifts are a given, but I think his quarterback clock, I think when he gets more and more reps, I think it's got a chance to be elite. He's got a slow heartbeat, but that's how it gets better. You get some better players in the draft. You get some better players in the secondary. You make a couple of more plays and you finish it. But no, I mean, being up by almost 20 points in Denver against a top defense, yeah, you might not be back in that situation next year. That's why when you get there, you got to finish it.
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Matt is calling from Leonia. What's up, Matt?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I just wanted to say, long-time listener. Not necessarily a fan of all the takes, but you guys make my day interesting, and I really appreciate that. So thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem. So I wanted to touch earlier where Sal said that, Deonte Banks really shouldn't receive as much blame, but I fully disagree. I think Deonte Banks is the worst cornerback in the NFL. If you watch him on film, he doesn't turn to the ball ever. He gets penalized constantly, and he doesn't even look like he wants to be out there. I don't know how, as a defensive coordinator like Bowen, you could throw that guy out there. He doesn't even look like he wants to be on the field.
What I said was, just to clarify, Matt, was that he's not the reason why they gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter.
But if you look back at it, he is, though. He was the reason they scored that touchdown.
Matt.
Not the 33 points. 33 points is crazy, for sure.
Yeah. Did he miss any extra points?
Yeah, but he also gave up.
Did Deonte Banks miss any extra points?
No, but he gave up the pass again that got them in field goal range.
Is he the one? Now, I'm not saying Deonte Banks is good. Oh, yeah, understood. I'm not saying Deonte Banks is good. I'm just saying that, is he the one that called the defense?
But he shouldn't have been out there. If he wasn't out there, there's
Matt,
a 99% chance.
We agree. Even if he's not out there, they still lose that game. It's not his fault that they lost the game. I'm not saying that he's absolved of all the blame. What about Kayvon Thibodeau and his penalty? Was that Deonte Banks' fault?
No, that was stupid.
Okay.
I'm not blaming. I'm saying about 50% Banks, 50% the rest of the team.
No, come on. I mean, you're fixated on Banks.
They shut them out until he was in the game.
Understood.
Denver put up 0 points until Deonte Banks got in the game.
Matty, you're not gonna. We don't need you to agree with us, but you're just not gonna see it the way we're seeing it because you're seeing it in a very, isolated, singular manner, and that's not the way football goes. It's just not.
Even if Deonte Banks, and he might be the worst corner in the NFL, even if he is, it's still no excuse for blowing that game. So I don't want to hear it. There's no, like, it's not like Deonte Banks, every time he's on the field, everybody's scoring a touchdown every single play, and Jaxson Dart's throwing an interception, and the Giants can't kick an extra point. Like, there are a lot of things that go into the game. I'm not saying Banks is good. He's not. We were getting on him a year ago. We was giving up on plays. So we all know that. We could all agree that Deonte Banks ain't it. He's not very good. But he's not the singular reason why they lost that game yesterday. That's all.
You know, I agree with that. And I've said a few times today, and there are just so many things to get into. And that's really the challenge of a Monday, especially with a game like this. But I don't know if you agree, and we could even do this more later. I don't think that this is going to necessarily derail the Giants where they self-implode and represent like a non-competitive team. Like, I still think that they're going to have a couple of games against good teams where, you know, they show us that they're more an ascending team than a team that had their soul snatched yesterday in Denver. I don't think they're gonna just lay down. I don't see that coming.
What would make you think that would be the case?
Well, because they just seem to play with a passion.
No, I'm saying, why would you even bring up the fact that they would lay down?
I'm saying, when I say lay down, like this is being positioned. You said it, I said it. I think everybody's saying it, that this is a loss that basically ends their season in terms of the playoffs, right? For the most part.
No, I mean
not that you can't, get nuts and win. Somebody gets hurt. What else?
If I said going into these two games they got to win one, it's still possible.
Then it's still possible, sure. I guess though, I just have a lot of confidence still that this team's got some character and that this team's going to still, by the end of the season, for me, be viewed as a team that I think is going in the right direction. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to disagree with that. I'm just trying to wrap my head around what the hell happened yesterday, which was one of the worst losses I've ever seen in my life, and maybe one of the worst losses, period, in the history of the entire sport. Dom is calling from New Rochelle. What's up, Dom?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Dom.
I think this one hurts even more because we just dominated. And it just kills there. But a couple points. I called you guys after the Dallas game, and I said you can't play a prevent defense there. You can't drop 8-9 guys back in coverage. Especially that team had Brandon Aubrey. That guy can hit 70-yarders. They did the same thing. But like I said, the defense just fell apart in the fourth quarter. And then I just never trust this defense in a big spot. I called you guys even after the Philly game, and I said I still don't trust this defense in a big spot. But as sick as this sounds, I know you got to score when you got to score, and they did. But in today's NFL, do you maybe kneel and waste about 15
I'm not doing that.
seconds?
Yeah, but here's the problem, Dom. You need the touchdown. Like, it's not guaranteed.
I know you. I totally agree. I really do. But I've never seen in today's NFL, I see teams take a lead with 30, 40 seconds, and the other team ends up winning the game.
And by the way,
it's like 30, 40 seconds in today's NFL. It's like 2 minutes.
By the way, it shouldn't have even come to that. The Giants got lucky with a bailout pass interference call, which is a whole nother issue that I have with the league. It should not be like that. Now, obviously, it favored the Giants, so it's great. But if it were the other way around, we'd be going nuts about it because that is just as cheap as it gets. A penalty like that's going to change the entire outlook of the game. I'm with you. I understand why you'd want to have time run off the clock. You can't not score there because what happens if Denver's defense stuffs you at the goal line? Like, that's a real possibility there.
Yeah, I think that there's certain situations where you can do that. I wasn't thinking that at all. Not yesterday, not with that team, not with a young... No. But there are times when that works. Yesterday was not the time to do that. Are you nuts? There's no way I thought that.
How about their defense making a play? Like Denver's defense, we were like, is this the best defense after the first three quarters? And then you saw when push came to shove and they needed to get stops, they did. When they needed to make plays, they did. And the Giants did not. It was quite the opposite. When you needed to make a play or needed to convert a first down, you couldn't do it. And that was why the Giants lost. Again, there was a lot of reasons for it. You could sit back and be like, oh, man, if they just only scored on the second play. It's bad luck, maybe, but they did score the touchdown and still had the lead. You, unfortunately, in that spot, had to take that and hope for the best. James is calling from Cedar Grove. What's up, James?
Hey, what's up, guys? So, yeah, I agree. It was a total perfect storm of mistakes. And yes, the silver lining of the Giants, they're fun to watch again. But what I want to talk about is this kicker, Jude McAtamney. And I just don't understand how he even had a chance to try out for the Giants when they could have signed Koo. He's a proven NFL kicker.
They did sign Koo.
Never missed an extra point in his life. But can I just share with you this McAtamney guy? Have you looked at his resume?
Was he like a soccer guy? I don't even know who he is.
I think maybe rugby from Ireland or something. But he played for Rutgers in 2022. He went 12 for 18, 66% field goals, and he missed one extra point. 2023, his senior year, his last year at Rutgers, he had one attempted field goal. He missed it, and then they benched him for Jai Patel. I think he's their current kicker.
Is that true?
So
I didn't even know that.
Is this a Disney movie or is this the NFL? Like, what are we doing here?
Chance. Local kid, Rutgers kid, give it a chance, Jim.
But Koo was a local kid too. He grew up in Ridgewood.
I'm being facetious.
Koo was an elite kicker.
Koo's not very good. There's a reason why he was available. So he's lost his elite level of kicking. However, I mean, I can't imagine a world in where they think this kid, McAteeney, whatever his name is better than actually a proven NFL kicker, even on the downside of his career.
Right, and I wish I was there at these practices because what was he doing at these practices that he wowed everyone? You know, in a practice is much different than a game. You know what I mean? Like to be able to go in a game and kick an extra point is much harder than it is to do. In your backyard or in a practice.
Well, because the entire operation is rushed. No, thanks for the call there, Jim. You're absolutely right. Like you're doing. I'm not saying that there's no resistance on the practice field, but is the push from the 11 guys as hard, and as aggressive as it's going to be on Sunday? Or no, so you talk about the snap, and it's just a timing mechanism too. Obviously, there's no people in the stands, so the pressure is just. This is I can't stand this. You mentioned about the penalties, and that's a big problem as well. Too punitive when they throw these pass interference flags. But, you have this guy he's going to be a footnote in Giants history who's going to be gone, sadly for him, probably today, whenever he's gone. And he very well may have determined the Giants season. The impact of kickers, it's just too much.
Right, but really it's on Shane and Dable and the special teams, whoever's making these decisions, because to the caller's point, like, what possibly could you have seen for me personally? And I'm not a pro personnel, director, whatever it may be. Like, if you show me his resume from Rutgers or any kicker, if there's a kicker that missed as many field goals or extra points as he did,
he ain't coming to my team.
I wouldn't even let him near the building. No, thank you. Because even if you're perfect in college, I still need to see a lot more at the NFL level in different pressurized situations. So the fact that you struggled at Rutgers, no less, no, thank you. So I'm not sure how that whole process went. Look, Graham Gano's been hurt. He's been hurt for a while. It's cost the Giants games. And for some reason, it's been acceptable. I don't understand it. Get a bleeping kicker. Get a kicker in here. It's not that hard. Like, you could talk about how it's so, these kickers and have such an integral part. Hey, they do. It's an important part of the game, so stop ignoring it. Stop disrespecting it. Find somebody who can kick the ball, or at least stay healthy to kick the ball. Gano's good when healthy.
Hurt. He's always
the problem is he's always hurt. He caused some games last year in Washington. This year, come on. Enough already. You can't be going with the guy who shouldn't be in the NFL, who won't be in the NFL beyond whenever, until the Giants cut him this week, probably.
Well, Hoff was saying, and he's right, these kickers are a lot like, I don't mean like the best closers, but these middle-relief guys, even higher leverage arms, like 1 year they're on, 1 year they're off, 1 year they're on, 1 year they're off. I mean, the volatility in terms of success, I know it's a very specialized athletic act, but I don't understand how you could be, you're kicking a ball. And I know it's a lot harder than I made it seem, just the way my tone there. But you could go from amazing to inept, and I just don't understand. It's got to be rooted in psychology more than actual kicking mechanics. But, hey, it very well may have sabotaged their season.
WFAN NFL football powered by Verizon. Get your local Verizon store today.
All right, here, Sal. Get back to the calls. Obviously, Giant fans, and, oh, God, awful. Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium. That was a buzz yesterday. That was fun. And the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperatives, fights for those priorities every day. That is ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
It's not just the new energy of Cam Skattebo. Like, defensively, and we've seen signs of it this year. It hasn't been complete, but we've seen signs of what they're capable of.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Memo to Commissioner Roger Goodell. School children and morning sports talk radio hosts don't want any more 10 p.m. kickoffs. That said, Houston at Seattle tonight and ending in the early morning hours here on the East Coast could be intriguing. The Texans have won 2 straight behind their stout defense, but Sam Darnold's Seahawks are more well-rounded and should prevail 24-20. I'm Boomer Esiason.
COVID-19 has cast a spotlight on the stark inequalities that drive poverty. The poorest communities in the U.S. and around the world are suffering the most. Oxfam believes we can put systems in place to protect health and livelihoods in the future if we work together with dignity and compassion. Learn how you can help offer safety to the most vulnerable and fight for a more resilient future at oxfamamerica.org. Sponsored by Oxfam America.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com, or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your tri-state Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE. Back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like D'Agostino, law, bite back? Hey everyone, Boomer here. How long have I been talking about the Chef IQ Sense wireless thermometer? You know how much I love it, but check out what one of our listeners says. It's phenomenal. You want to make a brisket, you look at your phone, and your mouth starts watering when you've got 20 minutes left. Phenomenal. The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat. Whether cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill, the app alerts you when everything's done. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense now at chefiq.com.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal, and I mean nobody. So if you're looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price, get to Town Fair today. Michelin winter tires offer a shorter stopping distance on ice and snow, along with predictable handling in cold, dry, and wet wintry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price and free services for life on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair tire, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair tire.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
.119 is the number to call. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't thinking, in a joking type way, but envisioning, because remember, going into that game, I was saying, man, if they win this game, the Giants beat Denver in Denver, I really think anything is possible. And it was obviously looking like that was going to be the case the majority of the game. And I'm starting to think, man, maybe we get a Colts-Giants Super Bowl. Daniel Jones taking out Jaxson Dart. Realistically, you look at the league, I mean, the landscape of the NFL, there's such parity in the league, and anything is possible once you get in the postseason, or even as far as, arguing to make a team that's on the outside, maybe on the bubble, to get in and potentially do some damage. It's not quite like baseball, but look at it, BT. Like, there are no guarantees or impossible teams in either league, whether it's the line. Who in the NFC scares you to a point where you can't beat?
Yeah, no, I pretty much agree with you. I think
like the Eagles, Giants already handled them.
No, of course not.
Dallas took it to the Commanders. Okay, Packers.
Daniels hurt his hamstring, and even with him, you're not scared of him.
Packers 4-1-1, but they've looked bad. I mean, tying with the Cowboys, even barely beating the depleted Cardinals. Niners, Rams, I think are good. Bucks are good, but they're not unbeatable.
I agree.
So
I agree. Rams, Niners, Tampa. I mean, Tampa's 5-1. I mean, Carolina's in second place in that division. I mean, you watch Carolina against the Jets. They look good. Not really.
No, that's what I'm saying. So now teams will get healthier, and maybe a couple of teams start to separate themselves if the Niners get healthy. Who knows? But point is, if the Giants won that game yesterday,
dude,
we're talking 3-4. We're talking going to beat the Eagles for the second straight. I'm not saying they would have or not, but that's the excitement would have been season on, like, in a major way here.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And it's not just a loss. It's that they should have won that game a million times over.
And it's not that they were creeping in. This was my point last week. That's why I didn't think they'd win this weekend, but I was excited about the game to see how they stacked up, because it's not like they were beating, again, the Jets or the Browns were bad teams to get those 2 wins. Now, the Chargers aren't what we thought they would be. All right, that's fine.
But
Philly, still they're a well-coached team with a lot of talent. That's a good win right there. And, of course, Philly's Philly. So you had to kind of get off the schneid with them as if you ever want to elevate in the NFC East. So it was easy to justify that there was, growing evidence that the Giants were ascending. That was not an unrealistic take. That was not an overreaction. I'll tell you what I was thinking yesterday. I'm watching that Dolphins game, and I'm like, all right, here's what's going on with the Dolphins, because this is something else that's out what I talked about last week. The report that the Giants are going to go, quote, big game hunting for a receiver. Whether it's Jalen Waddle, whether it's Chris Olave, whether it's Jacoby Myers from the Raiders, who are also terrible. God, I'm sitting there saying when they're up 19-zip, even when they had the bigger lead than that late, I'm like, the Giants are going to win this game. Miami's getting destroyed. They'll probably fire McDaniels in a week or so. They're going to trade Waddle, and there's a good chance Waddle's going to be with the Giants. Like the whole season, in my mind, I can only imagine what Giant fans were thinking, was taking a completely different trajectory.
That's why I think today is not the day to be like, whoa, we have Jaxson Dart. Yeah, we know that. And you should be 3-4 minimum, which brings me back to the main issue. As much as I want to still evaluate Dable and Dart together the rest of the way, I'd be lying to everybody if I said that I didn't feel that if they had a better head coach that they would have had more wins. Like, you could go back to a year ago and you've seen certain games that the coaching style or philosophy or schematics or whatever cost you a game, even in this year. Now, I don't think the Giants would be 5-2, but pick a coach, any coach that's somewhat decent, they would have beaten the Cowboys, I believe, and they would have beaten the Broncos, and that's 2 more wins, which makes a huge difference. Even 4-3 would have made a huge difference in this season, this year alone.
Well, the thing that we were talking about, right, and one of the callers was kept going on Banks. Remember, Banks, his fault, Banks. Okay. when you lose in this ridiculously insane, unprecedented fashion, it's not one person. So there's a lot of blame to go around. You know, Dable not making Peyton call all 3 timeouts. We obviously went over Bowen. And you look at the second to last possession, right? Whether it's Mims getting 31 on Phillips or Ingram getting 20 yards on Belton, who was in there because of an injury, or multiple Giants missing Knicks on the 18-yard run. And, of course, the final possession, Phillips got burned and Banks was involved in one, the neutral zone infraction on Burns. Like, there are 9 different elements that we could fixate on and give a lot of time to, and that would all be fair. But if they manage the timeouts better, and that's the coach, they probably still win the game.
Steve calling from Staten Island. What's up, Steve?
Stevie.
Hey, good morning, Sal and BT. How you guys doing
Good.
today?
How are you, Steve? What's up?
All right. Listen, I called last week, and I got to tell you something. Listen, I think this loss, it's on everyone, okay? It's on everyone, but I think the person that sticks out to me, two coaches stick out to me the most. Just give me a minute here why I say what I say, who sticks out to me the most with this horrible loss. It's Bowen. Absolutely. Listen to me. This guy's got to go. I don't care what the Giants do, guys. Kiss and make up with Wink. Get Rex Ryan in here next year, or elevate Brian Cox because he was a psycho when he played. Get this guy out of here. And I got to tell you something right now. I'm not mad that Dart threw that interception. He's a rookie. Rookies are going to make rookie mistakes. Was it a bad time? 100%. Can it be fixed? Absolutely. Because Dart, this kid's a gamer. And as a Giant fan, I've been waiting for this for a long time. So I'm not really that mad that he threw the pick. Here's my bone of contention. Dayball. I'm telling you, if this was golf, he would lead the golf tour, whatever, with mulligans. How many times do we have to keep saying that this guy here needs another year? He had Reek Martindale, and he couldn't get it right after the second year. Okay, you don't have Jones no more. You can't say Daniel Jones was not his quarterback. Guys, I'm telling you, enough. Mara, I said it after the New Orleans debacle, and I'm going to say it again. While I totally understand Mara's going through something way more bigger than sports, and God bless him and nothing but the best and speedy recovery to that man, he has to put on the ownership hat and make the executive decision and stop leaving these things in Dable's hands. This guy is not a good coach. I don't know what it's going to take for people to see this guy.
Well, maybe a few more weeks of this, and thanks for the call, Steve. The problem is that this coach selected this quarterback. And together, the offense looks great since he's taken over. That's the only problem. If it weren't for that, I mean, we all know he'd be out of here. A lot of us made the case that he should have been fired before last year. All I'm saying, or after last year, all I'm saying is that I firmly believe that with a different head coach, they'd at least have 2 more wins. And that to me is like, you'd be a moron to not at least think about that, regardless of how well Dable and Dart look together offensively. It's got to come into consideration when you're making these changes. Like, do we have a head coach that knows how to win some of these games? Because the evidence says no, we don't.
Yeah, and this is October. I mean, what if this is January and the pressure's amplified? What buttons are you going to hit? Do you have any confidence it's going to be the right one in terms of game management? The answer is no. But I do want to say this about Dable, and I agree. Very concerning to the point where even though Dart has looked really good, I don't think that he's necessarily back next year. But we've got all winter to talk about that. You know, game management, he's not good. Halftime adjustments, I don't know enough about football on that level to even waste anybody's time like that. Oh, you do this, you do. You know what I'm saying? I'll let the analysts do that. But they were ready to play. Like, you know, when you jump on the Broncos defense, which is either 1 or 2 or 3, certainly it's one of the best in the NFL, and you're up 19-zip, 26-8, and you score again after a back-breaking, you know, response by Denver to go up 32-30. You know, there's something to be said for that. To what extent, I don't know. I can't quantify that. But the Giants offensively were ready to play yesterday.
He's just too conservative, especially down the stretch of these games. And also, they didn't learn from their mistake. I mean, one thing to have what happened in Dallas happen. How in the world do you not learn from that? That, to me, like, it's okay.
About, like, with the Bowen stuff, with defense.
Yeah.
Well, this is where I'm with you.
Head coach.
Well, that's where I'm going. And I've always said this, there's been coaches in the city where, whatever team, the run is neglected. Well, all right, you're not the offensive coordinator, but it's your team. Walk down and say, run the damn ball. Or, during the week, knock on the door. Hey, we're going to run the ball, right? Same thing with Daboll. He saw this happen against Dallas. Walk down, say, what are you doing? Stop dropping 8 guys back. And so I'm with you. Yeah. The Bucs got to stop with the coach.
Yeah, and the fact that they didn't learn from their mistake, that to me is a bad, bad sign. All right, more of your calls when we come back. Work the Jets into the conversation as well. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Who will stay? Who will go? Big questions loom for the Yankees and Mets this offseason. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all of your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right, you get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer to get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo. From Volvo Cars Ramsey. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived. Lease a new 2025 Volvo XC60 B5 plus all-wheel drive, $497 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for lease details. MSRP $55,540. VIN S1015920. Loaner vehicle 5,193 miles, $3,700 down payment. Tax title registration extra, 0 security deposit. Ends 10/31/25.
All right, listen up, everybody. A few weeks ago, the Elevate team sent me some of their hydrogen-infused super water, and now I can't stop drinking it. Better workouts, more energy, quicker recovery, deeper sleep. So take my word, it's backed by science. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you just got to try it to believe it. So here's what you can do. Go to drinkelevate.com. Put in my code word, Boomer50. That's Boomer50 and get 50% off your first order, and shipping is 100% free. Order now before this offer ends. You'll thank me later, I promise.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where you can get a single line with everything you need. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metrics, root score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Kick off the new season in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Upgrade to a new GLC, GLE, or GLS, or take advantage of their loaner-to-owner program. Buy or lease a 2025 X-Loaner and enjoy a like-new Mercedes-Benz. Now at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 sold in Mississippi.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We're your official station to talk Yankees and Mets. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
At 11:03, I'm Gordon Damer. This report is sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Is pain stopping you from doing what you love? Physical therapists at Motion create a personalized plan that can get you moving safely and confidently again. No referral needed. Most insurance is accepted. Find a location near you and schedule an appointment today at motionptg.com. Speaking of pain, that's what Giant fans are feeling after yesterday's fourth quarter meltdown. Broncos scoring 33 points in the fourth after being shut out for the first three quarters. Brian Burns and company now 2-5 on the season.
We just didn't execute well enough. I feel like we got put in a position where we could have won and we could have took the game, but we gave it back to them. I put that all on us. We got to play better.
How's this for a stat? Outside of week one, the Jets have scored one touchdown in the first three quarters of their other 6 games this year. Aaron Glenn said today he has not made up his mind on quarterback for next week against the Bengals. Doubleheader to wrap up week 7 tonight. Lions host the Bucs. Texans face the Seahawks. Both games here on the Fan. Also game 7 between the Blue Jays and Mariners. Hockey Rangers back at the Garden. They host the Minnesota Wild. Fan weather sponsored by Ray Cattina Mercedes-Benz of Edison. It's 60 and cloudy in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Gordon Damer.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Back to the Giants in just a sec. 888-808-1019. I thought the Jets had a chance to win that game going in yesterday. It was another awful football game. I am done wasting my time watching this team, and I mean that with all sincerity. I hope for the best for Aaron Glenn. I don't see where the wins are coming from. I don't see where the win is coming from. You just heard Gordon mention that they're not sure who's going to be the starting quarterback. Hey, you got Tyrod Taylor. You got what you wanted, Tyrod Taylor. How'd that look? Oh, he stinks too. What a shock. Like, at least we know what Tyrod Taylor is. We've seen him in the league for 15 years, so it's not just the quarterback. It's everything. They're a disaster. They're as boring and as unwatchable as anything could possibly be, BT. And I myself am tapping out of the Jets season.
I wish I could as well, but I've got contractual commitments with the podcast. Otherwise, I'd join you, buddy. The Jets right now are plus 320 to be winless.
You
plus
didn't think 320.
Win? I do.
Just like by accident, one of these games?
Maybe Miami at home. I mean, Miami's going to fire him at some point, probably trade some guys. Maybe the Browns, but they're going to be 2-15, 3-14. They can't even score a touchdown, dude. You know, they give up 6 sacks, force no turnovers, no touchdowns here. They were
Sauce made a play yesterday.
Did he?
Nice to see, yeah.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, he did make a play, knocking a ball down. I forget what quarter it was.
I think he meant like a pick. God forbid he actually gets a pick like all the other good cornerbacks around football, whether it's Sertan or J.C. Horn. I mean, I listen, the only thing that really matters at this point for me is, and Taylor was not good either, but I thought Aaron at least had to show a willingness to mix it up for the rest of the guys in the locker room if he wants to have any chance of succeeding in year 2 or maybe beyond. And now he's going to have to do the dance properly the rest of the way with the media. And if he stumbles too much and it becomes overly and unnecessarily contentious, there's a chance AG's done after 1 year.
What would you do with the quarterback here next week?
I would start Tyrod Taylor. I think Justin Fields might be the worst thrower of the ball that I've ever seen. Like his athletic, and I'm actually mad at myself for not knowing he was this bad. Not that I thought he was that good, but I was like a little bit pulled in by the athletic traits, and his numbers were okay. His numbers are okay. He doesn't throw picks because he never takes a shot downfield. You see him try to throw a swing pass. I'm talking 5 yards. He can't put it on the numbers. His inaccuracy is mind-bendingly bad. So I understand Tyrod Taylor's not the answer either. Hopefully it's Mendoza or one of these kids in college next year. I would go Tyrod Taylor. What about, would you start Fields?
I would stick with Fields, yeah, but I just have him run the football more. Like, that's what they need to do. That's how they were supposed to be built. I don't understand why the Jets can't run it. Why can't they run the football? They were supposed to be built on the offensive line and running the football. Well, why can't they do that?
Well, the answer now is, to me, pretty simple. Because without Garrett Wilson, they've got no chance to throw the football.
But they
stack
couldn't run
the
it
box.
before with Garrett Wilson.
No, that's not true. That opening drive against Miami, they shoved it down their throat. Braylon Allen fumbled at the one.
One drive. I'm not talking about one drive.
No, the Jets' rushing stats are actually pretty good this year.
The stats may be good. They don't run the football well enough.
I'm not saying they run it well enough to win or to even be a decent team.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the only thing that they do, or they were doing fairly well. They had success running the ball against Pittsburgh in doses, but they're so...
Well, Pittsburgh was... I mean, Justin Fields had success.
I get that. What I'm saying now is they're so predictable that they've got no chance to run the ball, and if they can't run the ball at least decent, then they've got no chance to even move the ball and score touchdowns. They cannot throw the ball. It's embarrassing. You talk about coaching like it's not the 1950s or 1960s anymore. Like, the Jets' offense really looks like it's from 40 years ago. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that Justin Fields is not any good. We were trying to say that. I am surprised that the Jets can't move the football at all. Like, they just can't move the football at all. It doesn't matter who's under center. They can't move the football. So, to me, that's bigger than just the quarterback. Denver's defense was a part of it last week. Carolina's defense is not that good, and they still couldn't move the football. So, obviously, Justin Fields not wanting to throw the ball. Tyrod Taylor can't throw the ball either, whether it's underthrowing guys or whatever it may be. They don't have good receivers. I mean, but that's why they were built on the offensive line and running the ball. We knew that coming into the year. Why has that not been there consistently enough? Now, you can say Braylon Allen being hurt, sure. I mean, even when Braylon Allen was healthy, he was not doing it to the level that we had expected. Breece Hall is not doing it to the level nearly that we expected. They are an unwatchable, boring mess, disaster of a team it's actually torture to watch their games.
It's the worst. It feels like work. Because it is.
Yeah. I'm done doing it because there's no point in doing it. I hope for the best for Aaron Glenn. I don't see it. I think they're going to go winless now. The only way maybe they get a win is if Buffalo rests everybody week 18.
Okay, so let's go forward here. So
they're not beating the Bengals, no chance.
Bengals next. Bengals have 3 wins. They'll lose that game to Jets.
Browns defense is going to destroy that.
Low scoring, gross, yuck fest, flip a coin.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. Like, you have to actually score points to win.
I get it.
So
I guess.
The Browns defense, like, how are they scoring any points on the Browns?
They're probably not.
Patriots all of a sudden one of the best teams in the AFC.
Loss.
If not the NFL. The Ravens, even though they stink, maybe by then Lamar Jackson's back. And even the bad Ravens are still better than the Jets.
Better coach, better culture, probably a loss.
Atlanta, they're not beating Atlanta.
Loss.
Where's
that game? I'm just curious.
Here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Falcons aren't good, but they're good enough to beat the Jets.
Better than the Jets.
Yeah, Miami might be your only one here.
That's the one that I said initially.
But even that, like, who knows what Miami's going to look like by December 7th. Like, I mean, think about how far we're going here. If you can't beat the Panthers, forget about even beating the Panthers at home. There was never a time in that game where I felt like the Jets had a chance to win. Period. They I don't care what the score said. It felt like an impossibility for them to move the football. What? So why would I expect that they're going to be able to compete against any Jaguars? No. Saints aren't good, but they're better than the Jets.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody is, I think. I think the Jets are the worst team in football. They cannot score.
Good God,
man. Now, something happened to me yesterday, right? Now, whether it's Bollinger or like when they brought Vinny off the couch when he was 45, whatever the hell it was. Like, we've watched some really bad Jets football. We all know that. Yesterday, something happened to me that's never happened once in my football life. I didn't react or cheer once to a near pick or a big sack or a big offensive play. Literally nothing happened where I was like, all right, let's go. Not once.
Yeah, I mean, I could certainly understand that. I do feel bad for Aaron Glenn, but this is just when you think it can't get any worse, it continues to get worse.
I know. I got a question for you. Let's say, now I don't think they're going winless. I don't. Now, 1 or 2 max, but I think they'll get 1. If they were to go winless, but there's, he keeps it somewhat stabilized and they play hard and it's obvious they're not winning because they just have 0 talent and there's no real blow-ups with the media. You bring him back?
I mean, what's the difference?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I don't know. Like, the symbolism of no wins.
And what's the alternative? Like, is Woody just going to hire another first-time defensive coordinator? I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. I would not bring a quarterback into this. Like, what do you think's going to happen? Pick the best quarterback, whoever it is. What do you think?
For me, it's Mendoza from Indiana right now.
There you go, Mendoza.
Yeah, you going to give him to the staff? That's the problem.
Like, why would you think it's going to be any different than anybody else that's come here and failed before? It's not.
I know.
Breaking news, not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers comes here. The one short thing that we thought, he's not going to fail here. He wasn't good here. And it's not his fault. It's everything else. Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, on and on and on and on. Pick the head coaches, pick the coordinators. So the last thing that I would be looking to do if I'm the Jets is to select a young quarterback. I'm still trying to build, as impossible as it may seem, I'm still trying to build the foundation of a winning football team.
Yeah, they're going to take the quarterback. And now, which one, I don't know. But see, their move, and you'd have to get a coach who loves one of these prospects. And again, this is downstream conversation, but just hit me now. Like, if you have real reluctance, and I understand why everybody would, to put Mendoza or Dante Moore or whatever college kid with this staff, including Aaron Glenn, you might have to really just trade for an established head coach. Like, you might have to give up 2 first-round, not this year because you couldn't draft the kid.
But they want one.
Like you talking about the Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Woody.
No, do they want an experienced head coach? They had a chance to get him.
Probably not. No, what I'm saying is no, probably not. But like this, if they go 1-16 or 0-17, and they've got the first pick, right, and it's just gross, which it will be the rest of the way, and there's not even a thought by Woody Johnson to color outside the lines and hire like a real veteran, like then I don't know what to tell anybody. I really don't.
BT and Sal on the fan. Let's get back to the Giants calls here. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Lawrence is in Oklahoma City. What's up, Lawrence?
Hey, guys. I want to make a Jets point at the end, but I hope you had a good weekend.
Yeah.
It's good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So what the season started for me with the Giants, the only thing I really cared about is Jaxson Dart going to be the franchise quarterback? And in 3 or 4 weeks here, he's already answered that question for me, that he's legit. So now the scope has to go back onto the coaching staff, and that's just where I'm at with that. But when Jaxson Dart did that 1-minute drive in the fourth quarter yesterday, I don't care win or lose. For me, that's all I needed to see yesterday. That 1-minute drive was so heartwarming, and the future is so bright for the Giants. I wasn't thinking playoffs this year. I was just thinking developing Jaxson. And, man, what was better than that bad drive?
Well, Lawrence, think about this. I got it. I mean, that's the main thing. You very well might have a player that you're going to watch lead you 70 yards in the end zone in an NFC Championship game to get to the Super Bowl. That's on the table. Like he's got that kind of at least possibility. But and while that's the main focal point, it doesn't mean that when you lose a game like that, with everything else going around the rest of the NFL, the parity, the wins you had before yesterday, the way you shoved it down an elite defense's throat, like both things could be true.
Yeah.
You could be pumped about Dart and crushed with the collapse.
Yeah, as you should be excited about Jaxson Dart and saying that the most important thing to come out of this year was seeing if you have a franchise quarterback. And we all believe that at this particular point, after 4 starts, they have the franchise quarterback for different reasons, right? His skill set, his mindset, all those different things. However, there's no guarantee about next year. The time could have been now. If they won that game yesterday, and not only are we talking about they have their franchise quarterback, we're talking about the Giants at 3-4 going to beat the Eagles and trying to take a chance at winning the NFC East. Like, that's all there right now. Jaxson Dart could be playing in the postseason now, this year, not next year. It's not like, oh, yeah, well, next year we'll add this and that. Their defense is ready to win now. It was built to be a win-now defense. Nobody's going to argue that. I mean, look at all the players
we've talked about that a million times. All the resources devoted to it,
and they thought coming into the year that they were going to be a win-now team with a veteran quarterback while also having Dart sit and learn and then maybe go to him whenever the season got out of hand. Obviously, things changed as it went with Jaxson Dart, but it was even better once you went to him. He elevated everybody around him, and they started to have some success, so season back on. So it shouldn't be about, well, next year Dart's going to be good. He's good right now.
Yep.
He's good enough to win games right now. Are the other pieces, meaning the coaches or even some of those big names on defense, are they good enough to win now? So you could be excited about the future and excited about the franchise quarterback. How could you not be ticked off and despondent after what happened yesterday in Denver?
Like I said to start the show, I don't know that you can sit there for 50 years and outside of a playoff game feel worse about a loss. And the other thing, too, about this is not –
the NBA where you draft a LeBron or an MJ and, you got a 15-year ticket to win championships. Things change fast at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And this is not to jinx anybody, but this is just the reality of it. I mean, Joe Burrow's hurt every single year.
Yeah.
Lamar has yet to get to a Super Bowl. He's jacked up. They're done this year. They're terrible. Tua looked really good early. He's going to be gone. The coach going to be fired. Carson Palmer back in the day. There were just
Jaden Daniels banged up this year.
Hamstring already jacked up, and they're going backwards. They might not be a playoff team this year. There's already, so many examples to, where and that's what Sal's saying, and I'm with you. Like when you've got a chance to punch through and you don't, oftentimes you lament that because you don't always get another one.
Caesar calling from Dallas, Texas. What's up, Caesar?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I 100%. That's the most frustrating part. And I want to get into a couple coaching decisions, but what I fear is that where things are heading and how bad Dable has been coaching, we're going to end up into a situation where we were in the same spot we were with Daniel Jones, right? Daniel Jones came in first year. He had a really good year with Shermer as his head coach. Things spiraled out of control. They fired him, and he was just never the same here. Like, I feel like we do owe Dable a little more time, but it is frustrating. You have, I think, 100%. The last game was on the coaches and the Cowboys.
Hold on, Cease. Why do you owe them anything? It's not year 1 or 2.
Well, it's not. I don't think we owe them anything. I just don't want to make the same mistakes. Okay, and here, and I 100%. Dable has been terrible. I mean, there's no way around it. 4 years in, the kicking is still a situation. Yeah. How many times does the kicking game have to cost you a game?
Right.
Before there's other teams that get kickers that are hurt. They bring in a competent guy who doesn't end up costing them games. We're the only ones who year after year.
I'm with you, exactly with you. Same thing with Dable here. Not that you owe him anything, but I just want to see this play out here, see if he learns and starts winning these games. But this is not just a this year issue. This is not just a Jaxson Dart, like Dable with Dart issue. He was giving games away last year that they should have won. Early on in the year, you can't. The NFL wins are hard to come by. You can't be giving them away. Dable's been doing this for years. So obviously there's something wrong.
Well, he doesn't have his pulse on the game, and I really feel this because I know you guys already touched on this a little bit, and you guys say, well, you can't run the clock down there. You have to score because you still need a touchdown. And really, if you take that on the outside, not looking at that game, I 100% agree with that. But when you look at that game, they had no points going into the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, they're going up and down the field. Okay, your defense is absolutely gassed. Okay? To me, you do run the clock down a little bit on first down, even if it's just taking a knee. You run it down to maybe 15 seconds, and then you know what? If we can't get in from the 1 yard line, if we have 3 shots from the 1 yard line and you can't get in to win the game, then so be it. I can live with it. But what I can't live with is a coach knowing that you're deep. And first of all, you've already seen this happen in the Dallas game. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you had a timeout going into that defensive possession. So I can't remember if they called that timeout before the first play or the second play on that last drive, on that last field goal drive. But what are you telling your defense? Is Dable not in there? The second he calls a defense where you only have 3 guys rushing, and we all saw it, that first play cannot go for longer than 15 yards.
30 yards!
What is the best chance?
30 yards! I mean,
yeah,
it was...
Absolutely. You cannot call that defense. You cannot rush 3 guys on that play. You can't do it. If they don't get 15 yards on that one play, we win the game. And he allowed the defensive coordinator to call a defense where you only rush 3 guys. And I'm sorry, even those guys were gassed. Burns gave his life and soul out there. I know he was offside because he couldn't get back. The guy's hopping on 1 foot.
He could have called a timeout, though, to bail him out. Good call, Caesar.
And you saw that, obviously you heard Burns, shouting when he was shouting going into locker room, but you also saw him limping. He's been an absolute stud. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's some, now, there are just some coaches who are not good at game management. There's just that's a skill.
There are too many tight games, and he's been on the wrong side of them. Here's what bothered me, too, not to mention the end, obviously, which is obvious with everybody there. The drive that the Giants had with 5 minutes to go. Peyton, who coached Dable's pants off in this game. Sean Payton calling a timeout. Usually coaches will wait till 2 minutes to go, around 2 minutes ago.
Yep.
Peyton was aggressive in this spot.
Oh, okay? Yeah. Colt goes, why did they call a timeout? I said, because they're down 2, so you have to do it now.
Okay, so what does Dable do? First down, or the offense, but this is, Dable's the head coach. Skattebo, rush up the middle, Timeout immediately. 5 minutes ago. All Peyton's doing is extending the game at this point. 5 minutes still an eternity. 2 scores doesn't make it seem like that, but if you're starting to call timeouts here and the Giants keep running in the line,
I agree.
It's an eternity. What does he do the next play? Run again.
Timeout.
Right into the line.
Timeout, Blue.
You got Jaxson Dart. You've been moving the football on that. Like, you can't, it can't just be, well, with 5 minutes to go, you're trying to run the clock out.
But the worst part is now finish on third down. This is the problem.
Right.
This is when you should have run for sure.
So run, and then after another timeout, he throws the ball, and that's where Dart intercepts it.
And I'm not saying that just because of the interception. If you're up 1 score, that's different. When you have a 2-score lead in your back pocket, to not call the timeout there is the this is going to sound is the height of idiocy.
But then they do the next thing, the next drive. Again, now 3:45 to go. Denver's already on the board with another touchdown. Run, Skattebo. Run, Skattebo. And now you're 3 minutes left, and that's where Dart, they take the shot down the field. Like, that is all. You basically just gave up 2 drives where all you have to do is drive the football, get a couple of first downs. Yeah. He burns his timeouts, clock is running, and you're good to go.
Peyton's sitting there saying, is this guy kidding me? Is he really doing this for me?
They did him a favor.
Thinking.
They was trying to play the clock game. Peyton ran the timeout. Cole uses timeouts. Good God, man. That's on top of everything else. BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls. We come back, 888-808-1019.
All right. Yeah, hey, the FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns. Who's going to win with FanDuel? Well, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel, imagine jumping into the Broncos. Sal, what do you think the odds were when it was 19-0? You get a little, you almost took a Denver live bet? Oh, my God. How about that? Somebody took it and somebody won. On FanDuel, giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. Jumping on the fun with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Visit FanDuel.com/BT to jump in on the fun and have a little something on the game. That's FanDuel.com/BT. All right, you get a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. We love the app around here. I've been with FanDuel for almost a decade at this point. Fantastic. The app is great. You win, you get paid right away. It is safe and secure. So that is the spot to be at. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and also, of course, the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions to apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
The home of the NFL on Westwood 1 is WFAN.
He fell down as he pulled away. Hits the deck.
It's a special Monday Night Football doubleheader, kicking off at 7 o'clock tonight with the Bucs and Lions, followed by the Texans and Seahawks. The NFL on FAN, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober Savings Event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on Rocktober Savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with 0 down payment available. $1,500 overbook value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due signed, Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, add tax type 498 Dr. DMV.
HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City is Long Island's premier engagement and wedding ring destination. Visit HL Gross today or online at hlgross.com.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Hi, I'm Mike
Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action to get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain. We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5. The smart choice from those who expect more from their drive. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 gives you confidence in every condition. Its effortless handling and responsive performance set it apart from the crowd. Inside, you'll find thoughtful crafted design for comfort and connection. There's more to a Mazda. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Brandon Tierney, Salicata back on The Fan, continuing with your giant calls. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. One thing from yesterday around the league, the London game, I don't know if you watched any of it, BT, but first of all, it's too early. I don't mind having the games on, but I'm doing stuff. So I'm not like sitting there locked into it. But the quality of the London games are horrific. It's fine if you want to have it on and have football literally all day long from the morning through the afternoon, on in the evening, and then at night with the Sunday night game. I'm fine with that. It's not going to be a must-watch game as far as I'm concerned, unless it involves one of the two teams here. Yep. But the quality of play, regardless of who the teams are, it never fails. It's just crap.
I don't think the quality around the NFL stateside has been particularly good either.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not up to the normal standards, but London in particular is just...
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Listen, Jets, Giants locked in every snap. If you've got, if it's a game you want to bet, if there's some intrigue there, that's different fantasy. But no, we had a baseball game yesterday, so we were out of the house early.
early, and I was obviously keeping track on the phone. Oh wow, they're putting up a lot of points. Okay, great. No, the London series doesn't do anything for me. If anything, it actually bothers me because if it's a game that you have to watch, it really and this is a first world problem, I guess, but it equates to 14 hours of watching football.
Yeah,
and that's just a lot.
Yeah, but that's why, like, for me, I was in and out of the London game. I was in and out of the Sunday Night Football game, and I was obviously locked into the Jets, unfortunately. Although with the Jets, I did have the quadrant up. I have now moved on. There's different stages of in and out of the Jets games. It was Jets-Giants, same time. If they're on, have the dual screens. If not, the isolation, big screen Jets. Then when the Giants play big screen Giants, the Jets have now moved to the quadrant. And then next week, I'm not even sure they're going to make the quadrant. But the Giants was locked in on that. So, yeah, it's a lot of football. You don't have to be locked in on what's going on around the league necessarily, but the Jets and Giants we do. But just the London game, it's just the Jaguars did nothing. The broadcast team does nothing for me. It just seems that...
Was that Eisen again?
Yeah, Eisen and Warner again. Coming off of Denver and the Jets the week before. It always seems like at least one of the teams goes there and just does not compete up to the standards that you would hope for a standalone game. Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Can't count on much, but you could always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Chris is calling from Tinton Falls. What's up, Chris?
What's up, gentlemen? Sal, was fun connecting with you about a week ago, buddy.
Yeah, how were the Surfsides going down?
Very good. Russ is a good dude. He's a good buddy of mine. The Surfsides flowed into the evening, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, check it out, guys. A couple of points here. One, and Bobby Skinner, who I know you guys are a fan of, I listened to him as well. He went deep weeks ago about how the Giants made a colossal mistake not getting out from Graham Gano's contract over the summer when they could have saved money. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Dude is a good kicker, had a great history. 3 years he's been injury-plagued, and yet they can't get an adequate replacement. That's an indictment of Joe Shane and Dable. And here's the other thing. I am excited about what I'm seeing for the first time in a long time. But Brian Dable, here's my big knock, appears to be a really good offensive mind. He seems to lack as a head coach. Now, that's great if you're Andy Reid and you've got Steve Spagnuolo on the other side and you want to not have to acknowledge your defense. But you're supposed to be the CEO. He gets all the credit for Josh Allen. He was the OC then, not the head coach. Start being the head coach. Let Shea Tierney and Kafka develop your new toy. Be the CEO. Otherwise, go be an OC back in college or something.
It's also
that's where this is going.
It's year 4, Chris.
I'm ready to move on, boys. I wanted him gone after 2, to be honest, because I didn't like that he couldn't get along with Wink Martindale. He had a good defense coordinator then. By the way, that was when Deonte Banks played his best ball.
Yeah, but
he's
Wink,
gone backwards.
but Chris, Wink had to go. Wink was getting a little bit too big.
I'm all good with that, dudes.
Okay.
I am. You know what? You're the head coach, but you cannot just abdicate the other side of the ball and look for another scapegoat.
Yep, you're right.
There's a problem
How many times
here,
are we
guys.
pass the buck?
Fundamental problem.
You can, and he's got to learn, and thank you for the call, Chris. He's got to learn. So that's the issue. Like, you could say, well, he's got to be the CEO and a head coach, and it's obviously different from being a coordinator. Yeah, but this is not year 1. It's not year 2. We're talking about year 4. He should be beyond that. And every year consistently, at least the last 3 years, including this one, have been years where he's given away wins that the team should have. That can't keep happening. Not to mention the coordinator stuff, the D coordinator. You're right. If you want to be just an offensive guy and locked into that like Andy Reid, then you better make sure you surround yourself with proper staff. And clearly, they have not done that. And the one guy that he did have that had success, they couldn't work together.
Yeah, exactly. Guys that you could trust, not guys who are trying to railroad you and take over the job and do what you do and take your office in the building. No. Listen, why do we, and I'm asking the question here, it's not really looked at this too often, but maybe we need to start examining this with Dable and it'll make more sense. Like, when you have a 4th-year quarterback, right? If that 4th-year quarterback is still, not seeing the whole field or locking onto one receiver or patting the ball and not getting rid of it in, under 2.5 seconds, whatever it might be, generally by year 4, that quarterback's going to have limitations for the rest of his career. Why does that not apply to Dable?
I think it does.
But when you look at it this way, I think it makes more sense. Like, it's year 4. And the quarterback analogy would be, instead of holding onto the ball, he doesn't necessarily call the timeout right or do this, or he delegates too much with the DC, and he doesn't intervene, and he doesn't weigh in. So I don't know how much better he's going to get, if at all, at those things he doesn't do well.
But here's the problem, and it's like Caesar said before, and it's like something that you and I talked about dating to last year. The problem is you let them hang around in Shane and Dable. You let them select their franchise quarterback. They got Jaxson Dart. We all love Jaxson Dart now. Mm-hmm. And now the issue is going to be, well, is Dable good enough to be a winning head coach? And if the evidence is saying no, you're now in the spot where you might have to move on from the head coach who handpicked this quarterback and put Dart in the same situation you did with Daniel Jones. Where you have a different regime taking over, or at the very least a different head coach taking over for the quarterback that the prior regime selected. And that's not a recipe for success.
It's usually not, and that's why I was saying before when we didn't know if Dable was necessarily coming back this year, going back to last year, I was on the record, as were many others, that I would not bring him back because the last thing I want is, him gone, or him back, I should say, him back this year, and then you have to fire him after this year, but you have your quarterback, and then there's no real continuity. I think the thing that's different about this is that Jaxson Dart seems to have much more, I don't want to say transferable talents, but I think he's got a lot more appeal to other coaches around the league. So if they did have to move on from Brian Dable, I think people could be knocking down the door for the Giants job because of Dart.
But it's still different. And now it's another year of Dart learning a new head coach and his temperament, and not only his system. That type of change to me after you're having success. Dart is having success with Dable.
I know.
That's not the problem.
No, I get that and understood. But also a lot of the things they're running, they said this yesterday on the broadcast, they've said it before too, are a lot of the concepts from Ole Miss. So I think when we say he's running Dable's system and then he'd have to adjust to another system, that's not really true because the system for the most part is just an expansion of what they did at Ole Miss. 888, which is smart. Let them be comfortable. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan. Football Monday. All right, Sal. More levers and buttons discovered. The Cadillac Escalade IQ this weekend is absolutely insane. Our friends at Cadillac hooked me up. They hooked you up. And there is good reason why Cadillacs look and sound when they're just humming on the road, and they just deliver, man. I love it. 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs, some for the performance. That's why you drive it, or maybe some for the range here. Now, this is my first time with the EV,
all-electric,
right?
Yeah.
With the all-electric. I know you had that last year. And it's amazing. So when it was fully charged at 100, it was like 440 miles.
Yeah.
I never once saw when I put gas into a car, 440 spitting back at me. I drove it all weekend. I'm still like 310 miles. I'm rolling.
You get incredible mileage. I'm driving it this week. I actually took the Optic in at work today. Saved some mileage on my car.
That's what I did.
Out a little bit. I drove it around the neighborhood yesterday. Tried to get the feel for it a little bit. It's incredible. Really does feel like a spaceship, and you got to learn all the buttons. You get in the car, you don't even know what's on. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles, the Escalade IQ. That's what you were talking about. The Vistic. I got the Optic, and last year I drove the Lyric. They're all terrific vehicles. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
He was playing excellent football against one of the best defenses in the league, and this Giant team was kicking ass.
Listen to C-Mac on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Old Trapper, what's your beef? The Raiders were blown out by the Chiefs in a game that felt over before halftime. Just 3 first downs, their worst showing since 2008. So what's the vision? Hiring a coach in his 70s only works if he brings instant stability. Pete Carroll hasn't. Signing Geno Smith was supposed to raise the floor. It hasn't. If this is the plan in action, it's hard to tell what the plan even is. I'm Maggie Gray.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why our rewards members get free standard shipping on the things they want and need to get the job done every day. Savings for rewards members add up fast, so why wait? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Cloudy skies, high 67, low 54.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Wouldn't you know if you made $7 million? DC politician Mikey Sherrill is so out of touch, she can't even remember.
It said she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So, I think we made money.
Come on. Who wouldn't know if they made $7 million? I'm Jack Chittarelli, born and raised right here in New Jersey, where it's never been harder for the middle class. That's why I'm running for governor, to fix our state. In Congress, the only thing Mikey Sherrill fixed was her bank account. And she voted for higher taxes on your tips and overtime. Mikey even voted for higher taxes on your Social Security. Who does that? Let's be clear. I'm the only candidate with a plan to make New Jersey affordable. I'll reduce property taxes and lower energy bills, because you should keep more of what you earn.
New Jersey, Jack Chittarelli is the change we need. Mikey Sherrill is just more of the same. Paid for by Chittarelli for Governor Inc., P.O. Box 225, Annandale, New Jersey.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Sitting in the driver's seat of the Nissan Kicks is like the best seat in the house. You're in the action. And with the Nissan Kicks all-wheel drive, you can go find the best views. And with the 10-speaker Bose Personal Plus audio system, you can hear everything. Your new wheels await. Reimagine your ride with the reimagined Nissan Kicks. Now get the 2025 Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830. Shop your local Nissan store or nissanusa.com. Starting MSRP at $21,830 for base model. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP. MSRP excludes up to $1,495 destination and handling charges, tax, title, and license. Dealer sets actual price.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right, bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. Did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
back on the Fan Warrior Giants calls. You in a Game 7 tonight at all, Mariners, Blue Jays?
Yeah, I will be. I'll jump in a little bit here. I was thinking about that. Yeah, I heard Jerry playing some sound on the way in, and yeah, I mean it's Game 7. Even if you're still distraught about what happened with the Yanks and the Mets, and distraught. I mean, if you're still distraught, you might have a problem. But if you're still pissed and you've got to check out of baseball, tonight's the night you got to jump back in and watch the baseball.
Thing. I watched a little bit of last night, but tonight will be the night. I don't know, man. I feel bad for them. I'm rooting for the Mariners. They can't lose this game. Obviously, they can lose the game. I'm saying that the franchise, after having a 3-2 lead, the MVP year for Raleigh, who knows if he's going to actually win it, but you know what I'm talking about, to get this close to a World Series, oh, man, their first World Series, I really hope the Mariners get the job done, but I'm not so confident that that's going to be the case in Toronto. The other thing of note from the weekend with baseball, you saw Ohtani go nuts the other night and people freaking out about it.
Yeah.
All right. So, it's the greatest performance ever in the sport. The guy who hits 3 home runs and has a dominant pitching performance, a 10 strike, whatever it was. What do you have, 12 strikeouts?
10 strikeouts.
Okay, whatever it was. Okay, that's great. It was, and I'm not trying to say this to disparage Ohtani because it was a great singular individual performance. The game is a glorified exhibition game. We know, it's not like the Dodgers were some underdogs that upset the Brewers or it's even a closely contested series. It was Game 4 of what we all expected to be a sweep, and guess what? If they didn't win the game, they're going to win the next night. It wasn't even a close game.
No.
So that, to me, it really didn't do much for me, and also got me thinking that while people are freaking out about it, and I understand why, I think it's more of just like a freak of nature type thing. We don't see it. I think what Aaron Judge does on a consistent basis, and it's not just Judge, but Judge does it to the highest level, is more valuable than somebody who is a DH who pitches on occasion.
Well, it's funny. I'm a little bit in between on this here. I do get both sides. I think at the end of the day, I'm with you on Judge, but, very selective, Judge versus Ohtani, very selective in terms of how we place the analysis on Ohtani. Sure, when he hits 3 home runs and strikes out 10 and has a direct, literally 10 outs, and Aaron Judge not going to make 10 catches in right field, that's the night where all those people who believe Ohtani's the greatest baseball player, the modernized version of Babe Ruth, that's when they come out, and that's when they have their mic drop, if you will. But the other nights when he's not pitching or he does pitch, he doesn't pitch particularly well, well, then it's massive advantage Aaron Judge. So I kind of separated into the greatest spectacle, which would be Ohtani for me, and the better player, which is still at this point Aaron Judge for me.
Yeah, and to me, it's not even just about Judge. It's about any player who can play the field for 100+ games. I don't know why there's such a, like you said, spectacle may be the right thing. I don't know why there's such a freak out over what Ohtani has done as a pitcher. Okay, he's a... you could find plenty of pitchers like Ohtani. Oh, but the fact that he can hit too. Okay, well, he's a great hitter, one of the best hitters that we've seen. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, whatever. That's great. I would still value what a position player, especially one who does it at the level of Judge does for 150+ games every year, playing elite level defense. That to me is much more valuable than a guy who pitches on occasion.
Well, and the other thing too, think about the taxing on the body.
But that's a big part of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So when Judge was playing center field, one of the reasons why I wanted to get him out there, number one, he's not as good in center as he's been in right, but also, that's just a lot of wear and tear, and he's not a young kid. But even playing, right field, whether it's 130 times or more, I know we got a little bit banged up this year, 140 times, whatever it might be. He's diving out there, balls toward the line, balls off the wall where he's, hitting the cut and going after it with explosion. And you're doing that, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a night. It's different. It's a different level of physical engagement that I think people ignore when you talk about Ohtani. Now, I personally think, it doesn't really matter what I think, because I couldn't do any of this stuff, but I would, if given the choice, I would rather be in the field, because to me, playing defense also gets me in the flow of the game, but it locks me in, where if I'm sitting there as a designated hitter, my hamstrings are getting tight, I'm not loose. So I think it's harder to bounce off the bench 3 or 4 times a night like Ohtani does when he's not pitching, and have an impact. I don't know how anybody could do that. So I'm mesmerized by what he does. But night to night, Judge.
Shohei Ohtani has played in the big leagues for 8 years, right? He's been here since 2018.
That's a while. It's almost 10 years, my goodness. Yeah.
So eight seasons. Now, he's missed a couple of them due to injury as far as the pitching goes, but that's part of my argument in favor of Judge. In 8 seasons, he has pitched in 100 games. 8 seasons, 100 games. How can you tell me that is more valuable than somebody who plays the field for 150 plus games every year. It's just not like you can have your opinion on what you'd rather watch, what you think is impressive as far as, wow, the numbers, statistically speaking, maybe there's no way that is factually more impactful than the player. And pick a player. Last year, my argument was for Francisco Lindor being more valuable than Ohtani because he played defense at a high level every single day. Much more valuable than somebody who's a DH. Didn't even pitch last year. In 8 years in his big league career, he's had 100 games impacted outside of his bat. That to me is just nowhere near.
He's missed
enough.
a lot of. So let me ask you this. I don't know if this will change your answer, but let's say, the average top of the rotation guy makes 32, 33 starts. So sometimes 34. I'll make it easy math. I'll go 30 times 8, 240. What if he was healthy as a horse and he made 240 starts rather than 100?
Yeah, I still don't think that it's as impressive as somebody who does it every day.
That calculus would change for me. You know, if you are an ace. Now, especially if you're talking about a guy who's an average defender. We're talking about Judge, who was plus. Lindor last year, when he finished second, not this year, was plus. But what if it's what if it's Nimmo? Like, what if Nimmo has...
Would you consider Ohtani an ace?
No. Well, that's why I can't because he hasn't started enough.
So that's my point. But not even just the amount of games. I don't even think, okay, he's got a career 3 ERA, which is very good. You take that, obviously, especially in today's day and age. He's never pitched more than 166 innings in a season.
I get it. That's why I'm not making the Ohtani argument all in. That's why I frame it as the hypothetical. Like, if he did make 30 on the average over 8, and it was almost 250 starts, well, now there's a level of impact that Judge can't have even as a great defensive right fielder.
Yeah, and it's not to me, it's not just Judge. We go Judge, Ohtani because those are the two best offensive players. There are other terrific offensive players. Judge is, to me, the best player that I've seen. When you encompass everything, he was playing center field until this year, the majority of time as well, so that's a factor. You could bring up Witt, who you love. Now, Witt is obviously not on the offensive level that Ohtani is, but you're telling me you wouldn't rather have Bobby Witt on your team every single day?
I love him. You know how I feel about him.
You love him more than most. Yeah, but even just the idea, like, I know the spectacle, I know the draw. That's different. The entertainment value. I'm talking about impacting your ball club.
Yep.
A day in, day out basis. A guy who goes every fifth day at best, where he's made maximum in a season 28 starts, which is good. That was his best year in 2022. He had an ERA of 2.33 through 166 innings and 28 starts. That's it. Other than that, he's never had even more than 24 starts in a singular season, and he's never thrown over 133 innings. So that is more what he did the other night is more the anomaly than the norm.
Well, think about, and I don't know the answer, but let's say over the course of an entire season, you think Aaron Judge, just to see the other side, has 30 impact-level, game-changing defensive plays over the course of a year?
Probably, yeah.
He could. I mean, I'm asking. I'm genuinely
but he's out there in right field.
interested in that.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number. I just know that he's out there every day and making the plays when they come to him.
Now, that's why I brought up Nimmo's, and we kind of bet. Like, if you have Nimmo, let's say Nimmo has a phenomenal, this is not going to happen, but like an Ohtani Judge offensive season next year, but he's a subpar left fielder, weak arm. And I know it's not just about Judge and Ohtani, but the fact that Judge is a plus defender, if you had a guy who was out there every day, because I know that bothers you and some other people, but he's a minus, he's a dud defensively, does that change it?
Yeah, I don't think just being out there is better, although playing defense, period, is more valuable than pitching every once in a while. If Ohtani were a true ace, meaning going 7-8 innings consistently for multiple years in a row, throwing close to 200. You don't even have to go over 200, close to 200, and playing at the offensive level that he was, then maybe this is a different argument. Although I would still take the high-end defense, if not every day, 150 games or whatever from Judge, plus the high-impact offense.
Yeah.
To me, I don't even think it's particularly close myself.
One other thing I think we're really going to see when our kids are older, I think they're going to see this. I think it's going to be fairly common. Now, I don't know if you can hit moonshots like Ohtani and, throw up 90 whatever like him. But now colleges are more open to this. Like, you see two-way players getting drafted. It happened this year a couple times. So, obviously Babe Ruth, and of course Brooks Kieschnick was a name back in the day in the 90s, first-round pick by the Cubs, and also a hitter. who fizzled out really on both ends. I think this Comet is strong, but I think this will no longer be like, wow, look at this amazing outlier. It's going to be more and more in the game of baseball.
Back to the Giants stuff when we come back. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Hey, New Yorkers, fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with autopay, mobile plus discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers. Both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx. Made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. One hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Wellness isn't just what you do, it's what you absorb, hydrate, and fuel with. At Terra Origin, we combine ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to support your whole body from the inside out. Gut health for balance, healthy hydration for performance, healthy greens for clean energy and recovery. Because when your body's in sync, everything else flows. Find your formula today at TerraOrigin.com and use code RADIO to save 25% off your first order. Terra Origin, rooted in tradition, built for now.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all of your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right, you get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer to get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Talk sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
At
12 o'clock, I'm Gordon Damer. This report sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Also by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold, take on every road in a Lexus from Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Discover the breakthrough Lexus TX with 3 rows of comfort, generous storage, and refined style, built for families like yours. Only at Ray Cattina Lexus. Entering Sunday, NFL teams had won 1,602 consecutive games when leading by 18 points or more in the final 6 minutes. Giants looking for answers after losing to the Broncos yesterday. Giants dropped to 2-5 on the season, now 1-10 under Brian Dable in their last 11 one-score games. Meanwhile, the Colts' Jonathan Taylor has 3 games this year with 3 touchdowns. The Jets have 2 games this year with 3 touchdowns. Aaron Glenn still undecided who his quarterback will be next week against the Bengals.
Well, that's something that, I want to continue to look at. Again, it's early on Monday, so I said this yesterday that there's a lot of thought that goes into that. For me personally, and then being able to give the staff, and then just being able to ask other coaches that have been in the situation, how would they handle that?
Monday night doubleheader to wrap up Week 7. Lions and Bucks, Texans and Seahawks, both games here on the Fan tonight. Blue Jays and Mariners, Game 7 in Toronto in the ALCS, and the Rangers back at the Garden to skate against the Wild. Fan weather sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Living in New York is not a spectator sport. Don't let pain keep you on the sidelines. Get back to what moves you with Motion's expert physical therapist. Most insurance is accepted. Schedule an appointment today at motionptg.com. It's 60 and mostly cloudy, and that's what's happening. I'm Gordon Damer.
Talk New York sports.
Back on the Fan on this Monday now afternoon. Unfortunately, talking big blue disaster as they blew that game yesterday in the worst of ways. I don't know how you shut out the opponent for 3 straight quarters and then allow 33 points in the fourth quarter. It's something that nobody's seen before. It's never happened before to that level. And there's a lot of blame to go around for me, BT. And we started the show a couple hours ago talking about this. I think it's on the defense, the players themselves not being able to make all play, whether it's stopping a 2-point conversion, preventing a touchdown from happening, one of the many that they allowed. Certainly on the coaching as well, whether it's Bowen and laying off, and Dable's the head coach. So ultimately, plenty of blame to go around. But for me, it would be on the defense and the fact that the Giants didn't learn from the same mistake that cost them in Week 2 in Dallas.
Phillips had a chance to make a play. Banks had a chance to make a play. Belton had one great tackle, but he had a chance to make a play on that penultimate Bronco possession. Yep, a lot of blame to go around. There's no doubt about this. An absolutely excruciating, gut-wrenching, season-altering loss. I'm sitting there, and I told this to Sal. I'm sitting there, I'm saying, okay, watching the Dolphins, obviously keep an eye on the other games, and they're getting whacked, and they're probably going to trade Jalen Waddle, and look at Jaxson Dart without Neighbors. You get him another receiver, which was the report last week that the Giants will be all in on a top receiver, not a third guy, but like a top receiver. So I'm sitting there, and playoffs start to enter the minds, and then you watch Dallas and the Commanders. Somebody was going to lose there. You knew that, and now Jaden Daniels is hurt. Eagles got their act together. We'll see if that's temporary or if they're actually really right. But no, a lot changed for the Giants yesterday, but still now this doesn't bring you solace today in the standings. Jaxson Dart is terrific. The future's bright. But yeah, they flushed it away. There's no doubt.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Daniel calling from Plainfield, New Jersey. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for taking the call.
How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. I've got a couple points. Watching that, I'm there with a few buddies. My boy made $600 off of Daniel Bellinger's first touchdown. That was a great thing, but he would definitely trade the money for the win, definitely. But even after that loss, I still feel like we need to get a wide receiver, if nothing else. If you watch that whole game, all the passes, all of them were nothing but all to Wandale and the tight ends. And maybe Cat. Nothing on the outside. No one else made none, even if we got the DPI. But Bowen needs to be fired by 4 o'clock. We need to get somebody in here if we're going to game plan for this next week for Philly. And also with Dart, I'm extremely, extremely happy with what I saw. Even with that miscue with the pass, like you guys were saying, he shouldn't have even been put in that situation in the first with the two voices and then him being there anyway. But even with that pick, number 2 defense in this atmosphere, he did great. And I've never seen this happen. Last question. Is there any way or any time you ever seen maybe we firing a head coach but retaining him as an OC or
never
something?
happening? I mean, I've heard this come up. I mean, have you guys, thanks for the call there, Daniel. I mean, I'm not trying to come at you too hard here, but have you and other fans lost your sporting sensibility? I mean, I hear that on the radio all the time, like driving around. I've heard it on the afternoon show. I don't know if I heard it in the morning, but people actually think that that's a possibility. When you have the hammer and you're the power guy, I don't care how much you're able to check your ego. It is just not good business to bring that person back with less power. It's not happening.
Come on, and then what head coach would want to deal with that? Oh, yeah, I'm going to come in but have Brian Daboll, my offensive coordinator, get the hell out of here.
No way.
It's not a knock on Daboll, and I understand why you would want Daboll as the offensive coordinator. He wouldn't want to come here, and nor should you or they, the Giants, want that situation. That's a messy situation. It's already a difficult situation, thinking about what's going to happen with Jaxson Dart in the event that you do move on from Daboll. And if they do keep Daboll, you got to figure out a new defensive coordinator. I know that's a popular thing. Like you said at BT, others, fire Bowen, fire Bowen. Who do you think brought Bowen in? Like, who do you think brought him in? Who's the head coach? Another, it's not just the coordinators that you're looking for the easy way out. If I am the head coach of a team and I saw my team because I let my defensive coordinator have his way in week 2, if I saw them lose like that, I am saying to him ahead of that final drive from Denver, hey, knucklehead, I don't need to remind you what happened in week 2, do I? Make sure it doesn't happen again. So, I'm instilling get aggressive. 3 down linemen, nonsense. Not enough of that. You can't give up a 30-yard play again just like you did last time. He's the head coach. Where was he? What was he, napping on the sideline or just letting Bowen do his thing? I think it's more that Daboll believes in what Bowen is doing. Yeah. He is a conservative coach by nature. It's one of the things that I liked in the beginning because I'm more of that style, like kick the field goals when they're there. Don't be aggressive going for it.
Don't be chasing 2 all day.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's 2025 and you have to be more aggressive here. And I don't think Brian Daboll by nature is an aggressive, certainly defensively, an aggressive coach.
Listen, I think too many coaches, they hire people and theoretically they are willing to delegate power and let them do their job. And that's a good thing until the person that you delegate the power to has not shown the ability to learn from a colossal mistake, which is what happened with Bowen earlier against Dallas when they dropped 8. So, listen, I think we've gotten, and I'm guilty of this to an extent. I mean, I think we all are, if we're going to be real. I think we've gotten a little casual in the last however many years. Fire this guy, fire that guy. And I really, not that I never do, I do on occasion. I don't want to feed into that, but I have no problem saying it with Bowen because and he's not going to get fired by today at 4, which is what the caller said, which is what I'm reacting to. But they need to have a discussion very soon if he's around the team the rest of the year. Because you should have learned against Dallas. You were harpooned on the radio. You know you were lit up in the film room. And you had a chance to rectify and show your bosses, Daboll, ownership, Shane, that you learned and you're the man for the job. And you did the same thing and you probably cost them the season.
But imagine saying, well, fire Bowen. WFAN NFL football is powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. Imagine saying fire Bowen. And then what? I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about beyond that. Then what? Who's going to pick the new defensive coordinator? Daboll again?
You let Daboll get a third crack at it? No, I'm not doing that.
So this is bigger than the defensive coordinator. This is about the head coach, the schemes. And by the way, that's to me not even the sole reason that they lost. There was a litany of reasons why the Giants lost that game inexplicably. You can't look. That might be the singular worst loss or biggest blown lead in the history of the sport under those circumstances. 28-3 in the Super Bowl. We get it. Playoffs mean a lot more. Super Bowl certainly means more than anything. But that was late third quarter, 28-3. This is... You gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter.
I mean, listen, it's really, I don't know what the equivalent, would you give up 15 runs in the 9th inning? I mean, tonight?
After pitching a shutout through 8?
Yeah. Flirting with a no-hitter? I mean, 19-zip, 26-8, 32-30. Oh, my good God. So, real fast on this, though. To me, I do give Daboll credit for having the Giants ready to play. I said that earlier in the show. By the way, if you guys missed anything, free Odyssey app, BT and Sound on the Fan. And that matters. Like, too many times, teams, the Jets and the Giants, we've watched them, slumber through the first quarter. No real passion, no real production, no real purpose. The Giants were ready to play. So, check. Are they disciplined as a team? I would say that they're disciplined enough where it's not like an overt, massive issue. The thing that worries me about the Giants pushing this forward is when the game speeds up and you got to slow down and make the right call. Dable is a mess, and that is not the kind of coach that wins big games. I'm sorry.
Alan is calling from Freehold, New Jersey. What's up, Alan?
Good morning, gentlemen. Before I get to the Giants and the Broncos, you talked about Ohtani. I don't like Ohtani. I'm not a Dodger fan.
Yeah, well, why don't you like him? Why not?
Well, no, I mean the gambling, no. But, I mean, I'm not a Dodger fan. I'm a Yankee fan.
Okay.
But I'm just going to say, Sal, that was the greatest performance one night I've ever seen in a baseball game.
Fair enough.
And
I don't think you're going to find many people that argue that. Certainly statistically.
Right, that's all. Sal, you went on and on and on. I'm talking about one game. He 5-1. It was a 5-1. It wasn't 12-1. And he knocked in 3 out of the 5 runs. But forget that. When it comes to the Broncos and the Giants, first of all, we built up the Broncos, especially, Sal, you and Mr. Costas talked about this. Stats are deceiving. Rutgers was 3-0 because they beat Freehold.
Hold on. Who's talking about Rutgers, number one? Who's talking about stats? I'm not talking about stats.
No, my analogy is stats.
I think Denver's the best defensive team in the league, and I think they're the best team in the AFC.
Okay, Sal, give me a minute. Sal, Daniel Jones threw for 4. They almost gave up 500 yards against the Colts. The Chargers, they've scored over, had over 400 yards. They played the Jets, so they loaded on that. So stats are very deceiving. So this Bronco team is nothing like...
I'm not basing my opinion off of stats. So I don't know where you're getting your stats from.
What are you basing it on, then?
I watch the games.
You watch all Denver games?
Yes, I do.
Well, they beat the Jets, Sal. Yeah, what happened with the Colts and the Chargers?
Alan, but what's your point? What's your point about? You think Denver's no good?
We raised the ceiling with the Broncos being the greatest defense. What a joke that is. Number 2,
it's not true. Who's a better defense in the NFL, Alan?
Sal, I pointed out the only 2 offenses they played. They gave up 900 yards.
Here's the thing. You're allowed to have your opinion, and that's fair, and I could have mine.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
Hold on. Sal. But I'm going to ask you an opinion. I have my opinion. I'm asking you. Who do you think is the best defensive team in the NFL?
It's not the Broncos, Al.
Come on. Yeah, you got to have an answer. You got to have an answer, Al. Come on. But you might be right, but you got to have an answer, Al.
No, BT, listen. What I'm getting to now is the defensive line. The defensive line for the Giants. Where was it yesterday? The greatest defensive line. 2 sacks the entire game.
Now, Bo Nix is a pretty good athlete. Bowles is an all-pro offensive lineman. I mean, they got a pretty good team, Alan.
Well, they do have a pretty good team. I'm not saying that, but here, listen, the Broncos were down 17-3 against the Eagles with 4.5 minutes left in the game. They scored 21 points. There's 4 quarters in the game. There's 3 periods in a hockey game. So it all counts, if, ands, or buts. Dart should have had 3 interceptions that last drive before he scored that touchdown. That interference call in the end zone was a joke.
But Alan, I'm still not sure.
You're all over the place,
I don't know what your point is, and thank you for the call. And I'd ask you to make it, but I don't think we're going to get an answer. Like, you can say, Sal, you overrated Denver. Okay, I believe in what I believe in. I've watched it. I've followed them for multiple reasons, whether it's picking them or just liking Peyton or certain games along the way. I'm not saying I've watched every single snap. I've watched enough NFL to know that my opinion, based on what I've seen, is that the Denver Broncos have the best defense in the NFL. And if you differ than that, that's fine. You got to tell me who is, though. Who is? Who is? I'm still waiting for it. Who is?
I'll give you a couple. Maybe I'll say maybe the Texans. I'm looking at the points allowed here. I am going to reference points here. So Texans have given up 12.2. I'd have to look at all the teams they played because that does matter a little bit. I think that was part of his point as well. They played the Jets. The Broncos played some bad teams. The Rams, 16.5 points a game. Kansas City, 17.7. Denver is 4th at 18.1. But now that was skewed yesterday because the Giants put up 30, and going into the game, it was probably more like 15 or so.
Well, to me, and we've talked about this with the Jets for years. Like, all I heard was the Jets defense is great. And then I watch them, I'm like, well, that doesn't look like a good defense to me. Even this Giants defense early on in this year. The Giants defense is supposed to be great. Well, no, it doesn't look like a good defense. A good defense to me swarms. They attack. when they need to make big plays, they make them. And that's what Denver has done here. No, they're not perfect, but show me the NFL team who is. And again, they're in the AFC West, which to many people thought, and myself included, was the toughest division coming into the year. Now, all right, the Raiders stink. We know that. Chargers maybe not as good. They're still 4-3. Chiefs are 4-3. Denver's 5-2. They're leading the West. I mean, they lost on a bullcrap call at the end of the game to the Colts. Otherwise, maybe the Colts wouldn't be 6-1. And you have to give credit to the Colts now here, as well. Are the Steelers great? Maybe the Browns have a good defense. They're also 2-5. Like, I'm not saying that you can't. You have to give me an answer. Okay, maybe I'm overrating Denver. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to overrate Denver because I believe in the head coach. I believe in the quarterback, the offensive weapons that they have, and I certainly believe in that defense.
Well, think about this. So everything that we had in our minds coming into the season, I mean, I don't really know what even remains true in the AFC. So outside of Kansas, outside of the Chiefs, right?
And even they're 4-3.
Yep. Now they're getting healthy and they're starting to flex. And I think that they're by far the best team of the conference, but that's going to have to play itself out. I got to get more of an opinion on the Colts. I'm having a rough time wrapping my mind around them being dominant. Jesus.
But they're not only winning, they are dominating.
I know.
On the road yesterday.
And each week I'm a little bit more open-minded to them maybe being one of those legitimate teams. I need a little bit more myself. And by the way, their plus-minus is almost 100. So you're right. They're dismantling teams. But when you think about the 3 or 4 best teams coming in on paper, the Bills aren't even in first place in the division.
Right.
And their defense is not good. The Ravens are 1-5.
Unbelievable.
1-5, dude. And then now the Chiefs are starting to stabilize, but the Chargers, I don't know what's up with them. They'll probably find a way to be a playoff team, but if you told me...
Well, they're banged up on the offensive line. I know they've been hit hard. It's not an excuse. Everybody's banged up.
It matters to an extent, but if you tell me that the Chargers finished 9-8 and they missed the playoffs by a game... that wouldn't stun me at this point. So,
the Eagles, the Packers, and so on, like they're not their record. Packers 4-1-1, yeah, good record. They have not been as dominant as everybody thought they would be. The Eagles, same thing, 5-2, terrific record. They're not as good.
The passing game's been a mess. They just lost to the Giants. So I don't think Denver's as good as you do. I think their defense is good. I don't think it's number one. But it doesn't matter because right now there are teams out there that. I thought we're going to be a whole hell of a lot better, which is, I'm not even going to really get into the Jets, but that's why I'm like, all right, if the Jets could get off to a decent start, Miami's going to be a mess. Now, I didn't think the Patriots would be very good, so I thought the Jets would maybe have a chance to clip them once or twice. And, at least my point on the Jets coming in was always, maybe 7-8 wins in, mid-ish December, have a puncher's chance. They got no chance, but the Giants do, and the Giants would have had more of a chance, which is the ultimate point today, if they would have finished yesterday.
Jim is calling from Aspen, Colorado. What's up, Jim?
Hey, Jim.
Hey, BT, Sal. Good morning. How are you? It's good afternoon. I'm sorry. I'm listening on the app.
There you go. Thank you.
I haven't heard it mentioned. First of all, I'm thanking Sal.
Yeah.
Denver, not the best defense. Chiefs, by far. Best defense, best coach. Altitude killed the Giants. If you watch the Giants in that fourth quarter on defense, completely gassed. The coach, Peyton, won the game against the Eagles by going for 2. Otherwise, the Eagles win that game. Giants couldn't stop any of their 2-point conversions. They were giving them up. They were completely gassed. And then the Giants have a professional kicker on the practice squad. I haven't heard it brought up, but Koo.
No, we brought it up.
From the Falcons.
We did, Jim.
Okay, sorry, I'm behind.
That's all good. It's all good. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm a little behind.
I got you.
So, and by the way, guys, first time I've gotten to you, but I've been listening to the fan since day one, and I do love your show. And when I hike, and today I'm not where any cliffs are because I dive off. When I hike, I listen to you guys. By the way, worse loss than when Kazarczyk had the fumble. Absolutely
we were
worse
too young for that, but we know it. Yeah, I mean, because that team was terrible.
Yes. By the way, I'm also a Mets fan. Can you imagine the misery?
Mm-hmm.
Now, come on, you get it.
Yes, I can.
But I would say the Chiefs are loaded, and here they come.
Yeah.
With Peyton, Sean Payton won that game. He outcoached Dable.
Yep.
And in that final drive, we're throwing to Bo Collins, Jalen Hyatt, little Jordan Humphrey. You got to give the kid weapons. And I agree with you, Sal. It's probably not the right time to terminate the coaches. But, boy, as we do a year-end evaluation, I don't know how they overcome this.
Well, I
can't imagine it.
We here's the thing, Jim, and thank you for the call. It's only we're going into week 8 here. So there's a long way to go. We've had already, it feels like 3 different seasons in the first 7 weeks of the year for the Giants. The Russell Wilson, are they going to start Dart? Now the Dart experiment, and now that loss on top of it feels like, I mean, that one game yesterday was like 3 different seasons in itself. We're only going into week 8. They've played 7 games. There's a long way to go. What if they don't have horrific losses like this the rest of the way? What if we do see signs that Bowen and Dable, have learned from some of their mistakes? That's how you could say, well, you could paint a picture moving forward. Unfortunately, yesterday's loss might make it too much to overcome to be relevant this year. And that's the big issue. To make up for it, they're going to have to win at least the next 2 in a row, maybe 3, which is, by the way, possible, but they had it. They were right there. They were this far away from being 3-4 to having this place being the city being on fire about the Giants today and into the taking on Philadelphia this weekend.
Not to mention the Saints game, which is one that they should have won as well. Now it's crazy because all the games that we identified as all right, hey, maybe Giants can win this. Here's a softer landing. Saints loss. Now the Bears game, and I'm not going to call for a loss here because I've got some optimism with this Giants team because they've earned that, right? But now that Bears game, which is the game that I circled over the summer, I'm like, all right, when they go to Dart, maybe that's a good landing. Bears shouldn't be that good, and it's deep enough in the season, and then you eventually have the bye shortly thereafter. The Bears game is a whole hell of a lot harder. The Patriots game, Monday, December 1st, when the schedule came out, Patriots, whatever. Even though you knew that Vrabel was there and Drake May flashed a little bit last year, in the minds of Giant fans trying to piece together a meaningful season, that seemed to be a win. Right now, and it's not nearly as dire as the Jets at all, because I don't even know if I see one for the Jets, maybe Miami. As I look at the rest of the Giants' schedule, the only game, and it's on the road, so you never know, I'm like, all right, probably the Vegas Raiders game. They can lose them all. They can win 4, and this season of unexpected awesomeness can continue, or they could peter out and be a 5-win team.
Also, it depends solely on Jaxson Dart being healthy. If Dart is healthy, I think the Giants are going to win the majority of their games left. I really do believe that. And by the way, for the record, 7 weeks so far, I've nailed every correct winner of the Giants games themselves, including the upset against the Chargers, the Eagles, and then yesterday. And even yesterday, remember how I was hell-bent on the Broncos this week? I picked them on Friday to cover the spread. I was going to pick him on my knockout pool. Yeah. I got off of that. I started that feeling like, you know what? My gut is just telling me I'm not messing with Jaxson Dart. So even in that loss, there are reasons to believe that the Giants have a very dangerous team still moving forward. But the problem is you can't be giving up games like that you had won. The Broncos were dead to rights. Should have been a win. So it's encouraging that saying, well, yeah, they played well, if not flat out dominated the Broncos and their defense in their building for 3 straight quarters. You can't collapse and fall apart the way that they did. But I'd be more encouraged still moving forward, specifically with Jaxson Dart, than anything else. I mean, after a performance like that, I was impressed with Dart in the offense. I thought a difficult, very daunting task in Denver.
He's galvanized, 50-plus grown men. I mean, this is a job. This is not, high school football where everybody's out. Not that you're not playing hard, but you don't play in the NFL to have fun. You play in the NFL to make money, put food on the table, and to win a championship. And compete at the highest level. And this team was dormant emotionally. They were done. And this young man has entered the New York sports scene, and he has lit it ablaze. And the best part, it feels real.
BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
He fell down as he pulled away. Hits the deck.
It's a special Monday Night Football doubleheader kicking off at 7 o'clock tonight with the Bucs and Lions followed by the Texans and Seahawks. The NFL on FAN 1019 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdown to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel's giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/GIO to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/GIO to get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel. an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Make the smart choice, the Mazda CX-5. With standard all-wheel drive, advanced safety, and effortless handling, there's more to a Mazda than meets the eye. Lease yours for $229 a month and elevate your journey wherever the road takes you. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/life.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate Pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite team. teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn app.
1019 is the number to call. I'll tell you, man, it is a joy to sit down every Sunday and watch Jaxson Dart play football. Who knows where his career is going to end up? You know, how, knock on wood, hopefully he stays healthier and has a lot of success. But it has been, God, so welcome and so much fun to watch him since he's taken over here in week 4, taking on the Chargers. Even with the 2-2 record, you know, there's rookie growing pains in there, whether it's the 5 turnovers against the Saints that they had, whether it is yesterday's interception and the colossal collapse that really had nothing to do with Dart outside of that one mistake. But it has been a joy, BT, to sit down and watch him play quarterback for the New York Giants.
He's energized the entire fan base. He's pumped life into their lungs. It feels real. Now it is the NFL, and success can be fleeting. Just a lot of guys get hurt, so you can't run this thing too far out, and we can't go nuts here. But there's a lot of quarterbacks over history that maybe step into a really good situation, really good O-line, really good coach, winning culture, winning environment, and they kind of stabilize, and maybe a starter gets hurt, and they step in, and they look good, they look functional, and they look as if they kind of fit. I think this is the exact opposite, where, the coaching's been spotty, the record's been awful, the culture's been, for the most part, non-existent, and he has stepped in and he's elevated the entire building. That's special.
And we were saying going into this game that I think you're going to learn what this Giants team is made of, and even with the loss, and the unfortunate thing is that there are some consistencies with that loss yesterday that we've seen before with the Dable regime, right? I referenced it, giving games away, whether it's the kicking situation, the defense being too conservative, his play calling, Kafka play calling being too conservative. But you did learn that there is, to me at least, there's no challenge that this team can't handle, specifically with the quarterback. Meaning, there was a thought, on the road against a tough defense like that, a rookie, they're going to get the best of them. Nope. He got the best of them the majority of that game. So to me, there's no daunting task on their schedule. He's got to have to answer some questions here and respond to adversity, all those different things. But I think that Jaxson Dart can handle it. I saw enough yesterday, even in the first 3 quarters alone, to think that, you know what? There's nothing that this kid can't handle, and that offense led by him can't handle, even without a legitimate wide receiver.
And it's not just the stuff during games. Think about how we handled, there's a little bit of smack talk going on early in the week, and, I thought he handled that very, very well. You hear him after the game yesterday, he was the voice of the franchise, very mature, but he flat out said, I hate losing. I mean, that's exactly what you want to hear your quarterback say. And, even when he doesn't make plays, like if they don't go down as touchdowns or big gains, he still shows a really good ability to make some crazy throws, man. In the Eagles game, there were 2 in the back of the end zone, both of which were dropped, which were great touch passes. I know you know the plays I'm talking about. And even yesterday, Bellinger, when was that? Well, that was in the first half. I think it may have been 13-0, but it was at least 7-0. They were up. Remember the ball if you're watching on TV, it's on the right, a little bit past the right pylon. And Bellinger, for a tight end, it's a tough play. Had to go up really high. Remember that play? Mm-hmm. Did you think Bellinger should have caught that ball?
Nah, not in real time. I know they talked about it a little bit on the broadcast, but no, I didn't think that was.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a receiver, I'm like, you got to make
Bellinger. Come on.
Yeah, no, and tight end too. I mean, they even said that too. Like, you get your hands on it. You got to make the play. I'm not so sure I agree, but it was a great throw. No one else is getting it. Bellinger doesn't get it. Nobody else is getting it. So he just makes tough throws. We know he's an athlete. He's a leader. He's mature. Hey, listen, I mean, we could talk. They drafted the right guy. They made a bold move. They identified the person that they want. They let Dable make the call for the most part, and they got their guy. Now you got to wonder if the head coach is the guy.
Matt is calling. Yeah, well, that's a different question. Matt is calling from White Plains. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, what's up, boys? Watching the game last night, I got to be honest, after, I think like a lot of Giants fans, I was absolutely sick to my stomach. I tried to be a rational adult. I slept on it. And I don't know why. Maybe you can tell me why. Like, I just feel like small picture it hurt, big picture. I kind of feel like the misery days of the Giants are over. I know that's not saying much. But to me, like, I just feel like the days of non-competitive, they can't move the football. Like, week 1 kept me up for weeks. Like, that pissed me off. That was like, oh my God, this is the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it was ugly.
This game yesterday, it stung, but it's like, whoa, like maybe we got something here. Maybe not this year. Definitely not this year.
Yep.
But moving forward, forward, I just feel like the misery could be over.
Well, Matt, think of it this way. I agree. I think most of us agree, and think of it this way. So I wasn't miserable sitting there watching the Jets yesterday because I have absolutely zero hope. I didn't think they had any chance to win the game, and they're going to win one or two games if they're lucky this year. So I would much rather be you, even though the heartbreak and the hurt in real time of the moment is, oh man, that's a soul crusher. You have to wake up saying, all right, my future's good. My future's brighter. Whereas, what is the Jet fan? What is the Jet fan latching onto? The concept of the first overall pick, not knowing if this coach deserves to be able to even work with that person or if he's going to be back? Now look at what the Giants have. You've got a quarterback.
Right, but there's different levels of frustration. For me, the old Giants were out a couple of weeks ago, especially after they beat the Eagles. Like, you knew that the expectations are now raised. Okay, we're out of the abyss. We're out of the black hole here. And now the Giants can have some semblance of a future. When will that future start to take shape here? Will it be as soon as this year? Will it be next year? To me, no matter what, we knew that next year was going to be a year where you could say, okay, now led by Jaxson Dart, this team's going to contend for real in the NFC. The problem is, had they won yesterday, it could have been now. Like, you keep talking about the future and the future and the future. The future is right now. They have a defense that's built to win, and they have a rookie quarterback that's playing his ass off now. Like, it's not like, oh, well, what are we waiting for, I guess is my question. What are you waiting for? The development of Dart, he's already developed, and he's developing. Okay, he's going to make mistakes. That's part of it. Even veteran quarterbacks make mistakes. So what are we waiting for? You had a huge lead in the fourth quarter on the road against a very good football team. What are we waiting for? Put that game away. Get a real kicker. You want to be taken seriously? Forget about getting a wide receiver. How about you get a kicker? Think about all the expectations raised. And yes, well, I'm just glad it's not the Gettleman days or the awful Dable days of the last couple of years or Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley. Yeah, okay, well, that's over. But now you're playing for real. These games matter. That game mattered yesterday. The game Sunday against the Eagles is going to matter.
Yeah.
They won that game. All of a sudden, now it's back on again.
Mm-hmm. What if they lose a well-played, tight, and there's no egregious coaching decisions or turnovers? They just lose to a team that's more talented, but they really play well for 4 quarters. But they lost the 2 games that we talked about after the previous Eagles game.
I mean, I don't care how they lose it. If they lose it, they're going to have 6 losses before week 9.
But I'm not. So that's why I ask you that because
I'm talking about as far as playoffs.
Yeah, so
go.
you're still looking at the play. I'm not even looking at the playoffs right now. I'm looking at now. If they would have won yesterday, then I'd be diving deeply into the play. This and that. Okay. And I'm not saying that can't happen. If they beat the Eagles and they sweep them, then that is a little bit back on. But, even if they lose and Dart doesn't have 3 picks or Dable's not a disaster or the defense doesn't get destroyed for 400 yards and 35 points, if the Giants play well and they lose a tight game, on the road to a team that's won the Super Bowl, that's got a lot more talent, to me, the trajectory, this is what I'm saying, the trajectory of the franchise is still very obvious. It's still heading in the right direction.
Right, but even if they got blown out, the trajectory of the franchise is still in the right direction to me.
Because of the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm worried about now. I'm not worried about the trajectory of the franchise. I'm worried about winning now.
Well, I get that, but because they didn't win the other day, this season's going nowhere. I mean, do you think let me ask you, we get to December, right?
I don't think they're beating the Eagles.
Okay, so if they don't beat, go ahead.
But if they did, then everything that we said prior to yesterday's game is back in play. We said get a split against the Broncos and Eagles, and then from there they need to win 3 of the next whatever games.
Yeah.
And I think they can win all 4 of their final games. Commanders at home, Vikings at home, at Raiders, Cowboys at home. That's 4 wins right there. Now, again, we're really spinning it forward, and you want to give them a loss to the Patriots and Lions. They have a difficult schedule here. They're going to have to get some wins, but yesterday they had one. That's what's frustrating. They had that game to where this game could have been kind of a bonus, but I can't say that the playoff hopes are officially dead if all I was saying going into these 2 games.
I got you. I appreciate the consistency. I got you. So I think that when I look at this Giants team, think about where we could be today. They could be, what are they, 2-5? They could be 1-6. And we haven't even really seen Jaxson Dart yet, right? Right. Now people will be screaming at this point, but I thought he might come in against Chicago. Other people had different thoughts. Maybe I think Baldy told us the Saints game, which was early. Remember we talked about that?
He said even before that.
He did say before that. Others said the Saints game. He may have said either way. Yeah. I think he may have said the second or third game.
Yeah.
We could be at a point here where the Giants have basically no wins or 1 win. We don't have the energy and the promise of Jaxson Dart. Dable's dead man walking, which is why I'm just balancing the 2. The possibilities of the playoffs are still there. I'm not saying that they're not, but to me, like bigger picture, bigger ticket item, it's even if they do lose and they look okay against Philly, I'm still feeling pretty good about this team. They are out of the grave. Now, how far out? I don't know, but they're out.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. You know it's football season. Make Surfside your tailgate must have. Real vodka, real brewed tea. Just 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. Easy to sip and enjoy all day long. It's not a seltzer. It's a Surfside. It's delicious. All the flavors are great. We love them here. Actually, they're sending some more. Clem's got to send us some. So we're looking forward to getting that maybe this week. Who knows? Ask for it wherever you tailgate. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. This Odyssey Sports Minute is brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Look out for pedestrians. Safety's a shared responsibility.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Diego Pavia became a cult hero after leading Vanderbilt's stunning upset over Alabama last year, but he's far from a one-hit wonder. Now ranked 4th in Heisman odds, Pavia is powering the Commodores to a 6-1 record with wins over 2 top 10 teams, including LSU. With 3 more ranked foes still to face, Pavia's fearless playmaking proves Vanderbilt isn't just a fluke, they're a serious contender. I'm Maggie Gray.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text METER to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text METER to 42424. That's METER to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. Kick off the new season in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Looking for an SUV with extra space and style? You'll find an impressive lineup of GLC, GLE, and GLS models in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Or take advantage of their exclusive loaner-to-owner program. Buy or lease a 2025 X-Loaner and enjoy the experience of a like-new Mercedes-Benz. Don't wait. Upgrade your drive this fall at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, the Tri-State's premier destination for luxury driving.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman's Shield Link integration platform. The Sloman's Shield Link is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM-ME today or visit SlomanShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's Shield Link.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Hey, New Yorkers, fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with autopay, mobile plus discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios Internet and mobile customers. Both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
We all must do our part to keep our roadways safe. When driving, look out for pedestrians. Slow down and keep a 4-foot distance while passing. Let's look out for each other. Safety is a shared responsibility. Brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety.
Wouldn't you know if you made $7 million? DC politician Mikey Sherrill is so out of touch, she can't even remember.
It said she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So, I think we made money.
Come on. Who wouldn't know if they made $7 million? I'm Jack Chittarelli, born and raised right here in New Jersey, where it's never been harder for the middle class. That's why I'm running for governor, to fix our state. In Congress, the only thing Mikey Sherrill fixed was her bank account. And she voted for higher taxes on your tips and overtime. Mikey even voted for higher taxes on your Social Security. Who does that? Let's be clear. I'm the only candidate with a plan to make New Jersey affordable. I'll reduce property taxes and lower energy bills, because you should keep more of what you earn.
New Jersey, Jack Chittarelli is the change we need. Mikey Sherrill is just more of the same. Paid for by Chittarelli for Governor Inc., P.O. Box 225, Annandale, New Jersey.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please pay responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
The Giants Drive of the Game brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic and Safety. Look out for pedestrians. Safety is a shared responsibility. And for me, BT, I mean, look, you could pick out any of the drives early on, but you go down to that last one where they were helped out by the pass interference. It was just impressive to show that the Giants can punch back. We've seen that multiple times. We haven't seen, obviously the Russell Wilson game with the Cowboys in Dallas week 2, but we haven't seen that with Jaxson Dart. And it felt like, after the Giants blew that lead, Bo Nix was going nuts celebrating. You saw that. Felt like the game was over. Denver thought the game was over. Not so fast. The Giants and Dart regained their composure and answered right back. And, they got the benefit of a whistle, but that's today's NFL. Throw the ball deep, make the officials make a call. Generally, it's going to play in your favor, and it did. So the Giants did drive and maybe scored too soon, but that was the drive of the game to me, scoring that late touchdown to go up. And obviously the defense and the coaching couldn't do their part to hold that lead.
Well, they didn't, and that's been a big chunk of the show here, obviously. But think about this. Think about the mindset, or at least the evaluation of what kind of game this would have to be for the Giants to have a chance to win. You and I both said, everybody that we basically had on the show said, if the Giants are going to have a puncher's chance, it's going to have to be very low scoring. I mean, here we are.
Well, it was for 3 quarters. I mean,
but not for the Giants' perspective. You know what I mean? Like, the Giants were able, I did not think that the Giants were, did they score in their second possession? I think it was second. That they were coming out, marching and punching up a touchdown, and that looked good early. And then, not to mention, now I know they missed the PAT, but then to have 2 touchdowns and not because they got a pick six or a long return and they had a 9-yard drive. I'm sorry, they moved the field. So it shows you some growth. It shows you that that they can win, maybe in a way that we didn't think that they were ready yet to win, even though they didn't win. I know that seems like a contradiction, but you know what I mean. So it portends good things for the rest of the season. But when you flush a game that you had in your back pocket down the chute, you generally hate when we get to the end of the season. We'll say that's why the Giants aren't in the playoffs.
John is calling from Bayonne, New Jersey. What's up, John?
In all probability. Hey, John.
Well, it's kind of funny and crazy because it's just spooky. But I've been talking all weekend about Joe Pacharczyk and that thing because when I had my sports bar, I had the only picture taken of the ball being fumbled handed off wrong by Joe, and Herm Edwards coming in because my brother was at the game. All the newspaper guys shut down their cameras. So he had the picture. So it's kind of crazy. So my brother went to sports memorabilia. There was Joe Pisarcik, and my brother brought it up to him. He said, "You got a negative?" My brother said, "Yeah." Sent him the negative, made it. So I'm telling this Philly fan about it, and he goes, "Guess what? I went to school with Joe Pisarcik." So, I mean, it is a bad loss yesterday. I blame the defense coordinator. I don't blame Dart for throwing that pass. You know, I still say they should have won for it like that. I don't have no objection to it. It's not a rookie mistake. It was just that, hey, they spooked them with the way they do that with the linebacker.
Well, but that was a rookie mistake because a more veteran quarterback there, John, and thank you for the call. We appreciate you checking in. A veteran. Now, look, veteran quarterbacks make mistakes too. They're not perfect, but that is a clear spot where if Dart were, maybe more of a veteran, he would understand that the linebacker's dropping back into coverage there, or the lineman dropping back into coverage, or whatever it was, to have be right in the middle of the field. That's why you don't throw the ball like that blind in the middle of the field.
That's the worst throw you can make across your body. It doesn't have a ton of zip on it. There's just it looks quick. It looks open, then it just closes up really fast. But that's got to be communicated to Jaxson Dart, and it seems like it wasn't, obviously. Where Dable's like, hey, under no circumstance you throw this ball. You want to roll out. You want to eventually tuck it and run. If you do run, get down. Don't get out of bounds. Let the clock tick. Burn that timeout. To me, that's on the coach. And then now, if he does that next year and the year after, well, then it's on the quarterback. But you get room to grow. And I would think that Dart's going to learn from that. He's that kind of player.
Rock is calling from Long Island. What's up, Rock?
Hey, guys. Ironically, last week you were talking about crying over a game, and my eyes actually filled up yesterday. But I'm going to tell you something. It's always something. You miss a field goal, you're going to chase that 1 point the whole game. So then you go for 2 and you don't make it. Now you're chasing 3. Then your defense comes out and they're dropping 8 men back. You stay aggressive. You go after the quarterback. You don't allow him to sit back there to throw a 35, 40-yard pass. It's just always something that I just get so frustrated with that I want to break the TV, or it's just mind-boggling. I mean, it's just really mind-boggling. And I have no problems with. I believe in being aggressive. I have no problem with not throwing that pass on 3rd and 5. That's the way the game is supposed to be played.
I'm not saying the play call. Just for the record, the play call to me wasn't the issue. It was that he threw a horrible pass. That's a rookie mistake.
No, you're 100% right about that. He threw a horrible pass. And to be honest, to be open, if you really, really watch the pass, he had Wandell open. He just couldn't get it over the lineman that dropped back in coverage.
He didn't see him.
He did have Wandell open. You got to really, really look at the play. He had Wandell open, but he couldn't get it over the lineman.
No, we got it, Rob.
Yeah. And that's a rookie mistake.
He threw it right to him. He wasn't trying to get it over him. He didn't see him.
He didn't see him.
That's the problem.
And that's the point. Thanks for the call there. So the thing that's going to drive you nuts here is that, and I can't prove this, but I feel like all of these coaches who go conservative after being aggressive all day and they completely flip what they've been doing for the first 3 hours or so, I can't help but think on some level, Bowen's thinking to himself, all right, if I get after Nix and he gashes me for a 55-yard touchdown because somebody's open or there's a blown assignment, I'm going to get crushed. It's almost like they're like reconciling in their own mind where the kickback would be less. Yes, you're going to get hit for being too conservative, but I think the opposite, like they're fearful of being crucified for being reckless.
I don't know if he's I don't think they're worried about what people are going to say afterward. I think his belief is that he'd rather get beat by being more conservative, saying, okay, I'm going to let you make the play. You have to throw the perfect ball, and the guy's got to make the catch. You've got to complete the play. I'll give you the space. I'm not going to rush anybody. I'm going to, instead of taking the chances, I'll play it safer and make the offense make the play, which they did twice. That's the problem, which they did in week 2.
Dallas.
With the Cowboys, yeah. So that, to me, is just a philosophy. I don't think he's worried about.
Well, I mean, whatever. But think about this. Then he needs to start worrying about this because it's the wrong call. I mean, if you've got this is basic stuff. Bo Nix is not amazing. It's okay. So if you have an extra guy coming at him and he's releasing the ball fast, you're not going to get gashed down the football field. You're just not.
Right, there's a chance that it could happen. But
can somebody miss a tackle? Sure. Can somebody slip? Sure.
You got to put the pressure on.
You have to.
I could not believe when I was sitting there watching, seeing the 3-down lineman. I was like, here we go again. And to his point about chasing points, that's exactly right. One missed extra point sends Dable in a tizzy to where he's going to be going for 2 the next time, and then they miss that. You can't be doing that. Oh, by the way, is it impossible for the Giants to stop a 2-point conversion? Like, what happened there? That's not on, I mean, I guess it could be on Bowen, depending on the play call. How about the players actually execute? Denver's just getting touchdowns, 2-point conversions all over the place in the fourth quarter. One of those 2-point conversions, if they fail, it changes the entire outlook of the game. BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls when we come back. More Giants misery. 888-808-1019.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 1019 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober Savings Event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on Rocktober Savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with 0 down payment available. $1,500 overbook value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months due. Signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, and tax tag 498 Dr. DNVP.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Visit FanDuel.com/Evan to bet on the game. FanDuel.com/Evan to get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure. And when you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over, physically present in New York, opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Kick off the new season in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Upgrade to a new GLC, GLE, or GLS, or take advantage of their loaner-to-owner program. Buy or lease a 2025 X-Loaner and enjoy a like-new Mercedes-Benz. Now at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN-FM, WFAN-FM HD1 New York, an Odyssey sports station.
WFAN Sports Flash. At 1 o'clock, I'm Gordon Damer. This report sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. Also brought to you by Ray Cattina Mercedes-Benz of Edison. While the Mariners have never been to a World Series, they've never even played a Game 7 before. They'll do that tonight, though. Mariners, Blue Jays in Toronto to decide who will face the Dodgers in the Fall Classic. This is the Blue Jays' first Game 7 since back in 1985. Toronto will go with Shane Bieber. Dan Wilson counters with George Kirby.
He's the guy that we want in that situation, and he's throwing the ball well, and it's his spot. So, George will be the starter, and expect to have a lot of like all hands on deck down there in the bullpen and ready to go at any point.
Aaron Glenn said today still has not made up his mind who his quarterback will be for next week. 0-7 Jets will face off against the Bengals next week. Said that Breece Hall should be fine for the game against Cincinnati. Sauce Gardner now in concussion protocol. Doubleheader to close out Week 7 tonight. Bucks, Lions, and Detroit Seahawks. They'll take on the Texans. Both games here on the Fan tonight. Also, Hockey Rangers back at the Garden. They will skate against the Wild. Fan weather sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Is pain stopping you from doing what you love? Physical therapists at Motion create a personalized plan that can get you moving safely and confidently again. No referral needed. Most insurance is accepted. Find a location near you and schedule an appointment today at motionptg.com. 61 and raining in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Gordon Damer.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. I was just thinking about this. We'll get back to the Giants calls here, 888-808-1019. If I'm Aaron Glenn and I'm asked about this, hey, Aaron, who are you going to have you lean anyway in Week 8? Which quarterback you going to start? The proper response should be, does it really matter? I mean, does it really matter? You guys are watching this. Does it matter? Maybe he should start going the route of comedy, or at least refreshingly honest to a comedic level, because like nothing else has worked.
It's a good way to disarm detractors. When you come with the humor, people generally take a step back, like, all right, his life's tough enough. We can lay off for a week or two. But the crazy thing about this, and we were talking about this. Now, you thought that Carolina would win. I didn't.
The Jets.
The Jets. Thank you. I just didn't know how they would score without Wilson. They can't even really score with him.
Right.
But the story is still. See, this is the problem. Once they win a game, well, now they could just go in the corner of the room and disappear, and the ignominious start, no wins, and possibly a threat for 0-17. Once if that goes away, well, then the Jets can officially no longer be spoken about, but there's still going to be a morbid curiosity, which is going to lead, I think, to some tense moments with Glenn and the media and the fan base. Like, they got to win a game, but I don't know when.
The only thing that I would say is the way that they lost yesterday was not one like that they almost had a chance to win and they coughed it up. That performance yesterday is one that I do think is going to get us quicker to apathy, because there's nobody's going to expect them to compete with the Bengals.
Yep. Did you see what's the spread there? I'm curious. I didn't even see that. But I think that's a good point, because they were so bad and so non-threatening. Yeah. There's really nothing to react to.
Correct. It wasn't like Glenn screwed something up.
No.
Or so-and-so. Like they gave you
12 penalties. Yeah, you lost. You stink. Next.
You lost. You can't move the football against a Carolina Panthers team who's not very good. So at home, no less. Nobody was there in the crowd. You sent me the picture during the game.
Right?
Like,
good God.
I just don't. I don't think anybody's going to care about it anymore. And the expectation is now, at least from me, that they are going to, in fact, go winless. I don't know how you could expect otherwise. Maybe they win a game. What's the difference? Winless, 1 win, it's the same thing. Like, that's the same difference. Winning 4 or 5 is different. Winning 1 or 2, that makes no difference from winning none.
The only difference is if you really care about not being a historical footnote. And at this point, I mean, I do, but I don't even know if I do. Like, yeah, if you can find a way to win, not just the Jets, any team that's rebuilding and trying to get going, 4, 5, 6 wins. Well, now there's energy into next season. Take something from this year and look to next year. All right, Jets are coming, Raiders are coming, Browns are
4
coming.
or 5,
No, I'm saying for anybody. They're not winning 4 or 5. There's no chance. That's why I said any team that's trying to rebuild here. But when you go 1 or 2, now it's just, or 0, now it's just you are awful. As I said, the only difference is you're a historical footnote. If they go 0-17, 1 or 2 wins changes nothing about the next year.
Yeah, and I don't know. You have the future lines up or no? Can you get that somewhere? I don't know.
Talking about if they go winless or what? Well, yeah, the Bengals right now are -6.5.
Yeah, like where are the Jets going to be favored?
I don't know. I'm saying the only game that they might win, they're not going to win this week either. I'm saying maybe Miami.
They were turned. Did you see that line flipped? 2 lines yesterday. Both the Jets and the Giants line went off at 8.5.
It went up to. So you got late Denver money?
Yeah, Denver was -8.5.
Wow.
Prior to the start of that game. At least I saw it on one side. And the Jets went from being a 1.5 underdog to being a 1.5 favorite yesterday. I saw on one spot.
Who bets on the Jets?
I mean, that was a one game. Dude, if you think. Here was part of my logic.
I mean, I have many times, but I'm an idiot.
But here's part of the logic going into yesterday. Even the worst teams figure out a way to win a couple of games, right? So if you were of the belief, and I was prior to yesterday, they're not going to go winless. They're going to get a game or 2. That's a game that they got to win. And not only did they not win it, they were really non-competitive.
0
in that game.
Nothing.
Which would make me think, man, they might in fact go winless. I can't believe they get a game or 2. I just don't see it. I mean, Miami would be maybe the only hope. I think every other team that is on their schedule is significantly, not just better, significantly better than they are. At least the Browns have a great defense and a young quarterback that's moving the football more than Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields are. So the Browns, to me, at least have one side of the ball that's significantly better. And I think outside of Miami, every team is significantly better.
And the players that everybody was enthused about, the young players, even though the expectations were nuts, but I thought they'd be a lot better than this. But the players that the Jets fans were excited about, Breece Hall might get trapped. Some of the young guys. Breece Hall might get dealt. Sauce, concussion protocol. Garrett Wilson out. I don't think he plays again this week either. So there's just really not a whole lot to root for. You just, if you want to see Aaron, number one, because, maybe a personal affinity for Aaron, which at this point I don't really even care about anymore. And I usually like that stuff. I just want a guy who's going to get it done. And I think he can. But outside of the affinity for Aaron, I don't know what you latch onto as an exciting story for the Jets. I don't see anything really.
Hoff, what did you just say there? The odds for the Jets? What was this?
The odds for the Jets to win the Super Bowl is plus 40,000.
Oh, there you go. So if you want to BT, you can win 40,000. Put a hundy down.
I didn't pick them to beat the Panthers. I'm going to pick them to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm just saying, you get a great price right there. I mean, why not? Tempting. Pat is calling from Hoboken. What's up, Pat?
Patty.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm just calling today because the game, honestly, I went from being really angry to just numb at this point. I kind of expected under Dable. The fact that Shane Bowen is still our D coordinator and able to blow games like this is nuts. I mean, we have him as our D coordinator because no one wanted to work with Daboll and tie themselves to that sinking ship. And how many times do we got to watch him 3rd and long, 2nd and long, 30 seconds left to go, no matter the situation, just off coverage, always getting beat by it. Excuse me. One other point I want to make, too, is I know you guys have said Shane and Daboll should be tied at the hip, but it looks like we have a lot of talent that isn't being maximized. So just want to hear your guys' thoughts if maybe let go of Daboll this year and keep Shane.
What talent? Yeah, that's obviously a huge discussion point, but what talent do you believe is not being utilized right?
I mean, the pass rush, I think Cam Skattebo could be doing a lot more. Tyrone Tracy could be doing a lot more. I know they're doing great.
Hurt,
but
Tracy.
Our offensive line is finally doing something.
Yeah.
And we just can't find ways to win no matter what. And I just think it has to, at some point, fall on the head coach.
I think it's a minor miracle that the Giants scored 30 points yesterday without Malik Neighbors. I mean, that is impressive.
Yeah, I think it's that the Giants yesterday could have even scored more. They took the foot off the gas for 2 drives trying to play clock where it was 5 minutes to go and Sean Payton's calling timeouts. Like, you got to be aggressive. See, I don't know if there's more they could do with Skattebo. I mean, I guess there's always more, but they ran the football fine yesterday. Skattebo had his impact felt. This is a good defense on the road. Giants being up 19-0. That's more than anybody could have asked for. You got to win that game. Now, as far as the defense goes, a part of me says, okay, well, you shouldn't have to be overly aggressive with mixing things up defensively when you have as many elite studs as they should have.
Yeah, just do your job.
Right, but they are extraordinarily vanilla, and that is a known thing with Bowen, but he was handpicked by Dable, and that just can't happen. You could say, well, even the base defense, you just don't like it, it's vanilla, whatever. On that final drive, you cannot drop 8 back and have 3 down linemen where you just got burnt by the same situation. Well, what did he think was going to happen? I'd love to know what they thought was going to happen. Because my counter, you say media got on Glenn or whatever. I'd be like, dude, you just got beaten week 2 by doing the same thing. Why in the world, and I'm not pretending to be a defensive coordinator by any stretch, but even I can sit there on my couch and watch and say, what the hell are they doing? Why are they playing prevent defense here? Why do they have 3 defensive linemen down with 30-plus seconds to go in the game? Well, all they need is 40 yards, and they're going to get in field goal range, so win it.
It's idiotic. It's fireable.
Idiotic.
It's fireable.
Good God, and that's got to... So if I could see that, and you could see that, and our callers and listeners can see that, how come Brian Dable can't see that?
Don't know, but I need him to see that, and he's got to start seeing it, otherwise he can go as well. Honestly, he can go as well here. Well, listen, I agree. You delegating's a great thing until the person that you empower doesn't do the right thing enough for your liking. You've got to be able to snap out of what you're thinking about offensively and the other aspects of the game and be the all-encompassing CEO, which Brian Dable has yet to prove that he could do. And the other thing, too, and Nicola brings up a good point here. We talk about like the Jets went out after Justin Fields. All right, when you decided to let Aaron Rodgers walk out the door, how many good starting quarterbacks are available? None, because if you're good, you're not available. How many good defensive coordinators are truly available when most people who are worth the salt in their job thought that Dable might get fired might still get fired after you? You're not going to hitch your wagon to Brian Dable if you're an accomplished defensive coordinator. So you were stuck with somebody like this guy.
Good point. The job now might be more appealing because of Jaxson Dart and maybe the stability there with Dable. But again, you're going to fire another defensive coordinator. And by the way, Dable he's a conservative coach. That is his MO. We went over the 2 drives yesterday in the fourth quarter. Conservative play calling. He's done that before in his 4 years here. So what makes me think that was the defense that went like rogue? It wasn't Bowen going rogue against what Dable wanted. Dable should have the right as a head coach, last I checked, to say, no, be more aggressive here or give us more of a standard defense instead of playing 8 guys back. It doesn't make any sense.
There was a point in the game, not when it was 7-zip for me, so not even when it was 13-zip. I'm like, all right, Denver's gonna find a way to get back in this game. At what point was it just when they were up, whatever it was, 19-zip? Is that when you said, that's it, game's over? Like, when did you think the Giants won the game?
I never said that they were going to definitively win the game. At 19-0, hard to think that they weren't going to, but in my mind, I always thought Denver was going to still win the game. So it got to a point where it became an impossibility. I guess the nail in the coffin for me was after the Giants answered with the own fluky tipped ball touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Denver had that tip ball touchdown on their end to kind of keep hope alive.
Yep.
Giants answered with the tip ball touchdown on their own. At that point, I think you had to basically concede that it was going to happen. At that point, that's when I was saying, wow, now if they lost this game, now it would be Deshaun Jackson level bad.
And by the way, something that gets lost in that, because it was, obviously a very gratuitous bounce and a wacky play, like I didn't really deserve a touchdown there. He put that right on his hands. That was actually was that to Wan'Dale Robinson? I forget who that was to. That was a money throw with tight coverage. Now, they got lucky because it bounced into, and basically and you get a touchdown. Good throw, high-level throw there as well.
Frank calling from Paramus. What's up, Frank?
Hey, Frank.
Boys, how are you? Hope all's well.
Mm-hmm.
BT, love you. Sal, you drive me crazy, but I've come to love you amazingly.
Appreciate it.
I don't think you get rid of Dable at this point in the season. It accomplishes nothing. The loss was just atrocious yesterday. Any of us that have had tickets for years felt that way, but there is hope. Let the kid develop for the rest of the year, and at the end of the year, cut Dable loose. Shane's done a good job. He's restocked the system. We've got enough players to win. And if you had told me at the beginning of the year we were going to hang a 40 spot on Dallas and 30 plus on Denver, I would have said you were crazy. I'll hang up and let you guys listen.
Yeah, but then when you see, thanks for the call there, Frank, and thanks for the kind words. But then, while that would have sounded appealing, a July at a barbecue, hey, John's going to score some points this year. When you see how it unfolded at the end, the level of ineptitude, to me, almost offsets the good feeling knowing that you were going to score some points. And by the way, I'm not saying fire Dable today. Now, I would show Shane Bowen the door today. I would do that. No. I am just now at the conclusion that to win Super Bowls, which is what the Giants are about, that I just don't think he's that good of a coach in terms of understanding I'm not talking about schematics and concepts and offense. I'm talking about timeout, when to be aggressive, when to delegate, he just doesn't have that. So I'm talking at the end of the season myself.
You should never lose one of the games that the Giants have lost, whether it be the Cowboys or the Broncos. They lost 2 of them, and they didn't learn from it. It can't happen. So even if you are the biggest Dable supporter, and I have been one of them for a long time, as recently as the beginning of last year, I kept saying, no, they're close. And he kept blowing games that they could have won, and the losses just continued to pile up. Yesterday is just, like, you can't accept that. And it can't just be, well, we'll get better next time and learn from it. No, you had the Broncos dead to right. That game was won. You did what you needed to do to win a very difficult game on the road against a very good football team with a rookie quarterback, no less. They gave that game up. I've never forgiven Dan Quinn for what he did in the Super Bowl, up 28-3, blowing that lead. I don't believe Dan Quinn is a good head coach. Look at what's going on with Washington now this year. So I've never let go of that belief. And ultimately, you may be like, yeah, but look, he had success with Washington year 1. He's a good coach. I guarantee that in a matter of time, you will see Dan Quinn's not a good head coach. I don't know how anybody can definitively believe that Dable's a good head coach even if you give him, all right, the loss to Cowboys happens, they didn't learn from it just a few short weeks later and did the same damn thing.
And here's what really worries me. I don't think it's going to be, I was talking about from ownership's perspective, and Shane, obviously, who has brought in some talent. I think the last caller is right about that as well. I don't think the discussion is, hey, is Dable, a good coach or potentially a great coach? I think the only conversation when it's all said and done is, do we want to yank him away from Jaxson Dart?
That's a big part
but
of
that's
this.
not enough for me.
Yeah.
They're running Ole Miss stuff. Yeah. Dable did not come up with the concept.
Ole
Miss did. Lane Kiffin did.
Whether it should be enough for you or not, that's your own prerogative. I'm not saying it would be enough for me, but that is a part of this whole thing. If I had to evaluate Dable in isolation of Dart, I would say definitively you've got to move on because you can't keep blowing games like this. This has been going on for years, a repeated offense. Even though I like him and his fire and the offensive potential, whatever. Now we see him with Dart, and that's bringing up a whole new element here. Wow, the Giants are actually pretty good and doing things better than they've done ever before, even in the playoff winning year with Daniel Jones in Brian Dable's first year. I don't know how you can defend Dable as a coach, but I also don't like the idea of taking him apart from Jaxson Dart, where it is proven that they are having success offensively.
So, and I get that. I wouldn't do that if I owned the team, but I get that. I mean, that's a common thought, and quite frankly, it's a sensible, plausible one. I get it. So let's push this forward. Let's say Dart continues to show real progress and look the part. And the Giants' offense is pretty good, and you like the union here with Dable and Jaxson Dart. But all the other stuff, which surfaces in these games that we worry about, Dable, that does not go away the rest of the season. It's still clearly there when we're sitting here in December or January picking up the pieces. Then what do you do?
Yeah, I think that they have to make a change.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I'm not saying I definitely wouldn't break up Dable and Dart.
Yeah. It complicates it. I get it.
100% complicates it. Peter is calling from Greenwich, Connecticut. What's up, Peter?
What's up, Pete?
Hey guys, how are you doing? Thanks for having me. I think you have to give Dable one more year because there's so many things that could have gone good for them. They had 3 good quarters. They played well. I think the defensive coordinator, I agree with you, BT, he needs to go. So next year with a different defensive coordinator, with Neighbors back, maybe a little bit more talent, if he flops, then he's gone. But breaking them up now would just create chaos because who are you going to hire as a head coach?
Right, but Peter, hold on. Peter, it just sounds easy to say, well, the defensive coordinator's got to go. Congratulations. Who hired the defensive coordinator?
Yeah, but we already went through that.
Okay, and you're going to go through it again. So that's why
wanted to get hitched.
Firing the defensive coordinator does nothing because it's the head coach.
Yes, but at this point, at least there's promise. You have a franchise quarterback. You have offense that's humming. You have a number one receiver, Neighbors, that's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
That's an attractive defensive coordinator position.
Hold on, Pete,
when Daniel Jones was QB.
Pete, it's also an attractive head coach position.
It is, but who are you going to hire? The only
I don't
person
know.
I can think of is Cliff Kingsbury, but even he couldn't make Kyler Murray work and stuff like that. I'm just afraid we're going to get into a situation where we're going to bring someone who's inexperienced, and he's going to just fall off the bed. I would rather have one more year of Dable where the offense is working and then the defense is maybe working.
But Peter, what you're missing is that this is Dable's defense. He's the head coach, and thank you for the call. He's the head coach. He has hired and fired multiple defensive coordinators already in 4 years, and you want him to do it again. That's what doesn't add up to me. I can see if you want to keep Dable back. You can't then just say, well, let him pick it. Like, Dable is the head coach. That means he's in control of the whole team, the entire team. Offense, defense, special teams. How's the special teams been since Dable's taken over? How's the defense been since Dable's taken over? So those are parts of it you can't ignore and just think that fire Bowen and bring in somebody else. He's already done that.
Yeah, get what? He's 4 times. That's not enough to get it right. I mean, guys, we got so eventually the Bucs got to stop with somebody. The excuses for this, it's now not everybody believes in this, but for those of you who do, I think you're nuts. I really do. I mean, Brian Dable brings in all these coordinators. Then he's got beef with Wink, and this guy is basically inept, Bowens. So, no, there's no way I would give him the freedom to bring back another one. Now, if you tell me that there's enough upside where Shane and Mr. Mara don't want to move on from Dable, and they don't, maybe this is the middle of the road, they don't let him hire his new DC, I'm not saying I would do this, but they elevate somebody from the staff that they already know that they think is promising, and you're not bestowing the power upon Dable to do it again, for a third or fourth time. All right. I mean, I still wouldn't do that. I don't think that that's smart either. But, this was always going to come down to this. These are all things that we talked about going back a year or two ago, and there's just not going to be a clean divorce whenever they move on from Dable, because Dart's got talent and he's looked good, and Dable pushed for him. It's going to be a messy split. 888-808-1019, BT and Sound on the Fan on this busy Monday. Hey, our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical, but did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They built MetLife Stadium, that joyous place. Of course, a lot of touchdowns there yesterday for the Jets. And the one before that, that's why their advocacy organization fights for those priorities every day. That is ELEC. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
The home of the NFL on Westwood 1 is WFAN.
He fell down as he pulled away. Hits the deck.
It's a special Monday Night Football doubleheader, kicking off at 7 o'clock tonight with the Bucs and Lions, followed by the Texans and Seahawks. The NFL on FAN, 1019 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
I'm Michael Jenkins here to help you beat the books with BetMGM Network. We're taking over 7 runs in tonight's Game 7 of the ALCS between the Mariners and Blue Jays. Game 7s are usually lower scoring, but this series has been full of offense. George Kirby is on the mound for the M's. He's given up 11 runs in 3 postseason games. And taking on Shane Bieber for Toronto, he's allowed 5 runs in 8 2/3 innings of postseason action. This game will have lots of offense, so take the over 7. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, heating, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman's Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at slomanshieldlink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save on phones and plans where you can get a single line with everything you need. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on root metric true score report dated 1H 2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Your gut does more than just digest. It drives your energy, mood, and immunity. At Terra Origin, we blend ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with cutting-edge science to support your gut and whole body wellness. Since 2016, Healthy Gut is crafted with safe, powerful herbs, probiotics, and nutrients, rooted in tradition, proven by science. Feel better from the inside out. Terra Origin, ancient insight, modern wellness. Available at TerraOrigin.com and select retailers.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on The Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No! Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires. Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the fan. 888-808-119 is the number to call. We had a change in the standings yesterday, BT, the perfect parlay pick segment.
Oh, I didn't move, that's for sure.
Hoffy, he is texting me during the game. And I'm like, what? He's like, oh, BT's already out. He lost. I'm like, yeah, well, I lost because I had the Jets. And he's like, I'm 3 for 3 so far. I was like, what?
Yeah.
3 for 3. He comes on the air. He's like, oh, I don't even know about the picks or whatever. Well, like, yeah, you get more in the music than the picks. And he needed just the Giants to cover 6.5. That was the line when we made the picks on Friday. And they did. And he hits a 4-teamer and now has, I don't know the exact total. He's somewhere working on it. I'm sure we're having printer issues or there's something going on. But either way, it's 100 points. So I had a lead on him, but now I think I'm down 50 or so, whatever that may be, on Hoff, who hits the perfect parlay 4-teamer. Hey, look, these things can happen. I mean, it's perfect parlays. You can hit them. I've hit 3-teamers before. Man, when I used to have those little tickets back at the, in high school
the
or
old
whatever.
School ones, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would hit sometimes 6-teamers. Now, not often, but I do remember hitting those. So, how about Hoff, the first to hit the 4-teamer? I hit a 2-teamer.
That's a big one.
And Hoff, 4-teamer.
I'm done. I may as well just tap out at this point.
Come on, you can't give up. It's 7 weeks.
I'm not going to give up. But here's the problem. So now, because he crushes a 4-teamer, you had a lead on me before this, right? So I've been playing from behind big time. Now,
all it takes is one, though.
I know, but now I've got to start pushing the envelope. And not crazy Hail Mary, 3 seconds left on the clock aggressive, but it's already the fourth quarter.
No.
Now let's hope that Dable's not going to run the clock for me here. Otherwise, I'm done.
Don't chase. It's too early to start chasing. Because think about it.
I'm definitely a chaser, man. I know how I am.
You just want it right now.
Mentality.
And by the way, that's the worst thing you could do.
I know.
You lose a bet and it's like immediately double down. The
Sunday night.
Yeah, the angry chase bet,
Monday
forcing
night.
action. It's like Dable. The idiot kicker missed the field goal, missed the extra point. I'm going to be chasing and go for 2 here. No. Just you got to stay disciplined. So think about it this way. Through 7 weeks, the point total is whatever it is, but Hoff hits the 100-pointer. If you just hit 4 2-teamers in a row, or even if you go 4 of the next 6.
Oh, is that all? I don't have any yet on the season. I'm going to hit 4 out of 5, 4 out of 6.
2-teamers we should be able to knock out.
See, here's my problem. The 2-teamer to me is boring, but it's also the best path to actually being relevant. So, especially if you start out with a 2-teamer and you nail it, and then you hit the Jets and the Giants. To me, I don't really do 4-teamers, but a 2-teamer is just a little bit too passive. So
right, so you go in between.
I don't hit it, and then I'm playing catch up. Now I have yet to finish last. This could be the year. It's I'm fading fast.
It's still way early.
I know, but I've been off, dude.
1 4-teamer and you're right back in it.
Sal, I've been off. I mean, I'm not even really close. I'm off.
Where the hell did Hoff go, by the way?
Who knows?
Because he went out to go get the sheet, and I'm stalling here for 3 minutes, and he's still nowhere to be found. What, did he go to the bathroom or something?
If this was the old days, I would have been talking about the perfect parlay. I'd be worried about the 4 dimes I just lost.
Yeah, I know.
If this was like,
Luckily for me, so far we're now through 7 weeks, and I was kind of trying to budget. Like, what do you think would be, did we have this conversation on the air? I know I talked about this with my buddy Jimmy Train on the SI Media podcast. Like, what do you think would be a fair budget? Again, to each their own.
Fair budget.
But to gamble per week on the NFL.
Incredibly relevant and relative to how much money you make. That goes without saying. So, let's say the average. Yeah. I'm trying to get there. So, are you married? Do you have kids? Like, I just want to give some variables here.
All right, well, just give me a
going into the weekend, meaning you're willing to risk X amount?
Yes.
500?
Wow, that's a
less,
lot.
More?
No, I would go less.
Okay.
I mean, I could, for me, like I'm going to try to budget, and I've never done that before, but just 100 a week, because that to me is responsible. At the end of the year, it could be $2,000 if you're losing every week.
Oh,
You hope to hit a little bit more, and I understand that that's light for some, but dude, justify 500 a week. I mean, 500 a month is another car payment or so. Like I'm not going in that. That's what I'm saying. When you actually start doing the math and budgeting it,
oh yeah,
even 100 a week can be a little bit. So,
yeah, but how many times do you actually sit there, budget, do the math, and think sensibly when you chase it?
You don't, but that's why this year for me, I'm only down, I think, 500 so far, and the bulk of it was the first like 2 weeks. I lost a couple hundred. So through 7 weeks, I'm down like 500 total. So I'd sign up for that every day. You get minimal action. Yeah, at least have some fun.
Yeah, listen, to me, the best way to look at gambling here, all right, unless you're just ridiculously rich, whatever, is to understand you're not going to win big. You know, you might win big for a weekend. You're never going to win big over time. You're going to always lose. We know that. The odds are in their favor. So if you can carve out, a football season, whether it's college or pro, from September to the Super Bowl, where you only lose a couple of $100 or whatever denomination is safely relative for you, well, then that's the way to go. The problem is you can't always control that, because you can have that mindset, and then once you fall behind or get to that threshold of what's relatively acceptable, Well, now you have a couple of beers, and you're like, oh, I do like this game. Come on, I have 150 here, and now you're all out of whack. But as long as you know when to stop and you don't go nuts, it's salvageable.
Yeah,
you can do it.
I've never, ever in my life budgeted before. This time around, I am like, okay, well, if Sunday morning I want a little action, let me put 100 in and see if I can play with it and make something of it. Hoff did give me the standings here, so he has a bigger lead on me than even the disparity between you and me. Hoff now goes from having 50 points when I had 80 to 150. I'm at 85 and you're at 35 there.
Jesus.
So the
35.
idea of you catching him is going to be tough.
Well, I actually had 40 points going in, but I got 110 because I also got Denver and
the Jets
and the Panthers.
Right, yeah. Right.
So I'm basically the Jets of the perfect parlay.
Yeah,
is
but
basically what it comes down to.
But do you think that's the beauty?
Not good.
That's the beauty of the perfect parlay. You hit 1-4-teamer, you're right back in there. Everything changed. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
You actually went 2-1 this week. Not bad.
I know. But you know the game that I lost? The one where I did a legitimately, like a real in-depth weather. Remember I told you about that?
Yeah.
50-mile-per-hour gust, 95% chance of precipitation. No, they went over.
Yeah. I'm 0-3, but I do have the Lions tonight. So, like, if you're a law of averages guy like I am, I might have to go back in tonight and bet.
And bet the Lions.
Yeah, because odds are...
You're not going to go 0-4 too often.
Right, you could.
We have.
Obviously. I have before, but... feel really good about the Lions tonight. I might have to go back in and try to
parlay
chip
the
away
World
at that
Series,
negative.
the American League.
And not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Angelo calling from Long Island. What's up, Angelo?
Yo, what's up, guys? What's going on?
How are you?
Hey.
Not bad. I had a point that week 2 I went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the Dallas Giants game, and there was literally not one Giants jersey in the entire place. Everyone had Bills jerseys on. There was not even they had little TVs for the Giants games. I was like, what is going on here? So fast forward to yesterday, I went back to Buffalo Wild Wings for the game. Everybody had Skattebo jerseys. The TVs were all over the place. Everyone was hyped up. When they lost, they almost flipped the tables and burned the place down. But it was such a difference. Like the team really got everyone very excited, despite the horrible loss. I think it's going in the right direction.
It is, and Giants pride seemed like a myth for a while. Thanks for the call. You know, Santa's elves, what is that, though? The mensch on the bench. I mean, these guys are going to be busy this year. A lot of Skattebo jerseys going to be printed. A lot of Jaxson Dart jerseys going to be printed. And, you know, when you lose a game like that, I mean, I think it's ridiculous when I see on social media people breaking TVs. Like, hey, film me breaking my TV. You're an idiot. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. But
what about 20-year-old, 25-year-old BT? Yeah,
well,
different story.
20-year-old BT once, I don't know, should I tell you this? I'll tell you this real fast. Yeah. When Ken Griffey Jr. scored from first base on Edgar's double.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Down the line at the Kingdome, the now defunct, gone Kingdome, I threw a couch off a balcony.
Oh, my God.
And it wasn't even my couch.
Who was it? Like a girlfriend or something?
No. It was my last year, and so my first year I was on campus. The next 2 I was off campus. My last year I went back on campus with a couple of guys I played ball with. It was just easier, whatever. Ex-girlfriend on campus just made it easier, and so I had a townhouse with some other guys. We were downstairs, and it was all of us, a couple of basketball players. The guys upstairs, I didn't hang out with them at all. We would just come home drunk and eat their food. We weren't friends, so it was their couch.
Yeah. All right. Well, I figured.
Does that make it better?
I figured that there was a story in there like that. That's why, these guys who throw their TVs or break their TVs.
Yeah, I know. But the point is that at least when you care enough to do something stupid, it tells you that generally you're back on track, that your football team's moving in the right direction.
Andrew calling from Bay Ridge. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, what's up, guys? So really quick, I think this is one of the rare cases where this hits the players harder than the fans. Like, we're all like, there's a lot of upside, and, we got the guy for the future. But, these guys played their butts off for 3.5 quarters, and you could tell it hurt them. Number 2, unforgivable what making that pass. I'm sorry, either be conservative or treat it like another offensive series and try to score. The fact that they would just run it into the pile, first down and second down, and then pass is unforgivable. Just run it into the pile one more time, kick it down the field, and now they got to go 80-plus yards.
Great.
It's just absolutely unforgivable to do that.
Really, too, Andrew, the drive before that was also a problem. The interception drive. Run, pass again, interception. Then the drive you're talking about, run, deep pass, incomplete. So, if anything...
And it was too early in the game. Like, there was too much time left for them to be trying to run out the clock there. Like, they needed to put their foot on the gas. And it's like, okay, either be conservative or be aggressive. Don't be conservative and then make a bad pass.
Right.
Like, it's well said.
Agreed.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, they were stuck in between.
Thank you for the call.
That's coaching.
But they were trying to run the clock out with 5 minutes to go. And Sean Payton brilliantly calling timeouts. Oh, they're going to run. Okay, running in the line. Boom, timeout. Running in the line again. Boom, timeout. And then, obviously, that's where the interception came in. At that point, it was like, uh-oh. Once he threw even if anything but the interception there would have been a problem, the interception just completely changed the feel of the game because now, they're already in Giants territory and a quick strike away from a touchdown, which is exactly what happened. So it took a lot. It wasn't just on Bowen, wasn't just on the kicker, wasn't just on the defense. It was on everybody. But to me, the main culprit still of yesterday's game had to be the conservative nature of the defensive play calling, especially later on that final drive, and also just the inability of the defense to get a singular stop, whether it be preventing the Broncos from getting in the end zone endless times or even on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, Bowen learned nothing, which is grounds for dismissal. It's funny. I tweeted out, I wish I chose the Giants all those years ago, right? And my buddy who I grew up with, I'm behind because whatever, sports going on, whatever. So I was about 40 minutes behind. And, I'm zooming through the commercials, so I'm catching up. My buddy Tommy, who I grew up with, says, I knew you spoke too soon. And I'm like, oh. But at this point, the Giants were still up big. And I'm like, there's no way. Even though I know what my friend just texted me, I'm like, the Giants, they flushed this down. They're going to lose this game. And I hate when a text or something like kind of ruins how you try. I hate that. But even knowing it was happening and knowing that it was coming, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I still could not believe it. Insane.
BT and Sal on the fan. We'll finish up on the phones when we come back.
And by the way, just to be fair, when I threw the couch off the balcony, it was not onto a street. I have to say this. It was up at Maris. It was like some big grassy knoll. Nobody was down there. It's not like I threw it on Fifth Avenue.
Oh, okay.
I needed to say that. Otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen. All right, hey, the FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who's going to win. With FanDuel, anybody can play the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel's giving all of you a 30% profit boost token. That's right. Jumping on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So, make FanDuel your go-to app ready snap. Visit FanDuel.com/PT to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/PT to jump in on the fun 30% profit boost token. This Monday is yours. We love the app around here. I've been telling you about it for almost a decade. It's simple to use, easy to navigate, and the best part is when you win, it's right there. And it's also very safe and secure. No hunting down your money. Where's my money? It's there. It's awesome. So, FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NFL, and also, of course, the official sports book of WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions to apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Can you believe how he has handled the kicking position for the last 3 years? It has been a disgrace. Gano can't stay healthy. He starts the season with him, and we're left with this.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Don't look now, but Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott is on a heater. He's thrown 13 TDs and 0 interceptions over his last 4 games. The Cowboys still have a lot of work to do. They're 3-3-1, and the defense is still a major concern. 2 years ago, Dak came in second in MVP voting. Stats-wise, he's playing even better, which has to give Dallas hope that its high-octane offense can take it where they want to go. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx. As a kid, he made some mistakes, but right out of high school, he joins the Army. Picks up skills, does construction and HVAC his whole life. Paul Rivera's a guy who can say, I love my life. I've done everything right. So, where's the rub? He gets pulmonary fibrosis, and the only hope is a lung transplant. Poor guy's close to curtains. When out of the blue, one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, hears about his case and takes it on. Not only does our friend get a new lung, he gets a whole new life. All right. He keeps getting stronger. Everyone in his neighborhood is like, did they give that guy a new lung or a new motor? The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera. You lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Rock and roll will never die, and neither will the low prices. It's the Rocktober Savings Event at Nielsen Dodge. We've turned up the volume on Rocktober Savings on any new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We're rocking out the deals with 0 down payment available. $1,500 overbook value for any trade. If you need credit help, we're here to make it happen. And of course, great deals.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
So for head-banging deals that are music to your ears, at Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Drive into fall event.
With approval term 24 months, due signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, ag tax type 498 docket DNV.
We all must do our part to keep our roadways safe. When driving, look out for pedestrians. Slow down and keep a 4-foot distance while passing. Let's look out for each other. Safety is a shared responsibility. Brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety.
Wouldn't you know if you made $7 million? DC politician Mikey Sherrill is so out of touch, she can't even remember.
It said she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So, I think we made money.
Come on. Who wouldn't know if they made $7 million? I'm Jack Chittarelli, born and raised right here in New Jersey, where it's never been harder for the middle class. That's why I'm running for governor, to fix our state. In Congress, the only thing Mikey Sherrill fixed was her bank account. And she voted for higher taxes on your tips and overtime. Mikey even voted for higher taxes on your Social Security. Who does that? Let's be clear. I'm the only candidate with a plan to make New Jersey affordable. I'll reduce property taxes and lower energy bills, because you should keep more of what you earn.
New Jersey, Jack Chittarelli is the change we need. Mikey Sherrill is just more of the same. Paid for by Chittarelli for Governor Inc., P.O. Box 225, Annandale, New Jersey.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied. It's Mary.
but I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The restaurants, nightlife and shops in La Galleria, and of course, American touches like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now starting from $229, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Call of the day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's call of the day brought to you by my friends. And I got to tell you, BT, they've been at the house last week, thank goodness, setting up the heater and all that stuff. Got to get the new, what the hell you call it, the new boiler. It is incredible. You get into that, the plumbing type stuff?
I know nothing about it.
Me neither, but it is just a thing of beauty. Get rid of that old, clunky, huge thing.
Yeah.
And it's nice and neat now and everything. So my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, they did a tremendous job. Mike runs the shop over there. Gary, I know, is setting everything up. Give them a shout out because they did a fantastic job. Anyway, today's call today brought to you by my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Caesar calling from Dallas, Texas. What's up, Caesar?
In the fourth quarter, they're going up and down the field. Okay, your defense is absolutely gassed. To me, you do run the clock down a little bit on first down, even if it's just taking a knee. You run it down to maybe 15 seconds, and then you know what? If we can't get in from the 1 yard line, if we have 3 shots from the 1 yard line and you can't get in to win the game, then so be it. I can live with it. But what I can't live with is a coach knowing that you're deep. And first of all, you've already seen this happen in the Dallas game. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you had a timeout going into that defensive possession. So I can't remember if they called that timeout before the first play or the second play on that last drive, on that last field goal drive. But what are you telling your defense? Is Dable not in there? The second he calls a defense where you only have 3 guys rushing, and we all saw it, that first play cannot go for longer than 15 yards.
30 yards!
What is the best chance?
30 yards! I mean,
yeah,
it was...
Absolutely. You cannot call that defense. You cannot rush 3 guys on that play. You can't do it. If they don't get 15 yards on that one play, we win the game. And he allowed the defensive coordinator to call a defense where you only rush 3 guys. And I'm sorry, even those guys were gassed. Burns gave his life and soul out there. I know he was offside because he couldn't get back. The guy's hopping on 1 foot.
He could have called a timeout, though, to bail him out. And Burns, and that was the call today. Of course, Burns was not happy afterward. We referred to it a little bit where you could tell some of the players frustrated with the way that the defense was being called there at the end. I mean, those are type things that, I'm not trying to say that we're creating any drama or dysfunction going on with the Giants, but when you have the players visibly upset and open about that type of performance and questioning that stuff, I mean, I don't know how you just continue to go on without any change. I'm not saying you got to fire Bowen now, but I think they need a change in philosophy. I think for me, BT, Dable's got to show that he can take control of the defense and be more aggressive in certain spots. That's my biggest issue with the whole thing.
Where's the evidence that he could be in control of the defense? I mean, he's been barely in control of the offense until Jaxson Dart showed up. So I think that it's more about... once that level of trust is breached to an extent, with anything in life, I don't think there's any going back. And I think that the Giants, whatever, I'm not saying there was no respect, but whatever the level or degree of respect that was there from, or trust or belief, whatever, from the players to Bowen, I think after yesterday it's gone, which is why I've said today that I would move on from Bowen today. I don't know that they will. It doesn't even matter. I'm telling you what I would do. But I also think that the way Burns defended Dable in the postgame was pretty interesting because he said something along the lines of,
Dave's going to get the blame.
Dave's going to catch the heat. Dave's going to get this. And then he kind of positioned it back to the team, which I thought was a pretty stand-up move. But if you also notice, he didn't mention Bowens. So tells you all you need to know.
I know, but this can't be like, what do we think happens here during the weekly meetings where coaches spend endless hours at the building, game planning and going over everything? Like, what do you think? It's just Dable's caught off guard by, I'm shocked that Bowens plays, 8 back here, or is playing 8 deep, 3 down linemen. No, like this is all part of, I'm sure, a cohesive, collaborative game plan. It's why, in part, Bowens was hired to begin with by Dable. That's why I'm saying that I think it's deeper than just, fire the defensive coordinator. It's not the coordinator. It's the head coach. He's the one specific to the final drive of the 2 plays that Denver converted to get in field goal range. If the head coach is not stepping in there saying, we got to play a standard defense here, be more aggressive, then
I know.
Then what's
I know.
he doing?
It's a bigger issue, and I don't disagree with that. All I'm saying is like what you can address today. Like you're not going to fire Brian Daboll today, nor should they. Again, I want to see where this goes at the end of the year. So with Dart and Brian Daboll, so that's not even remotely on the minds of anybody with any juice inside the Giants building. Mainly ownership and obviously Joe Shane. What should be centrally on their minds is you now have a coordinator who's shown zero adaptability and zero growth because when he was shown the same exact situation like in week 2, he did the same exact thing which didn't work in week 2, which tells me he ain't the guy for the job.
Yeah, and we were talking about Bowen all year long. Like, he's been vanilla, but remember, that's the head coach brought him in. I don't think it would be one of those things where Daboll's like, well, I like being aggressive on defense, and you guys stuck me with the guy who likes to be. I don't know the inner workings. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's probably not the case, that he was on board with Bowen and his vanilla defense. Not to mention they were playing Abdul Carter out of position the first few weeks of the year. Like, there has been a lot about this defense, and people even talk about opponents saying, well, they don't really like to do much defensively. Like, we kind of know what this, I forget who it was specifically that said, I forget who it was specifically who said that earlier in the year with the Giants. Who the hell could that have been?
Was it somebody with Kansas City?
Maybe New Orleans? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Yeah, either way, one of the opponents
it was like week
saying,
3. I remember it.
Yeah, okay, whatever
Somewhat.
it was. Point is, we know his defense is vanilla. It's been talked about, playing guys out of position, and the results are just not there, costing them 2 games.
Well, think about this, too. And that's why I keep saying I'm kind of with you, because Daboll's got to know that. Otherwise, you shouldn't hire him. Because if you know what the coordinator you're bringing in is going to do, and you sign off on that, then you're basically signing off on doing the same thing. I mean, Mike Brown's got assistants. Like, Mike Brown's now the coach of the Knicks, right? Tom Thibodeau's out. Mike Brown brings in his guys. I mean, if Mike Brown brings somebody in, you'd have to think that Mike Brown brought him in because he agrees with what he does. Like, we shoot threes, we do this, we do that. So if it's counter to what you do, then you're dope for bringing him in.
Jeff is in Milford, Connecticut. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, guys? Great show. Love you guys.
Thank you.
You guys are just making the exact point I want to make about Daboll. In a quick summary, the dude's over his head as an NFL head coach. I mean, how many more years do we have to see it? It's year 4 here. Just go over his overall record. You know, the old saying, you are what your record says you are. I mean, he's well past his probation period. I mean, how many more chances does the guy get to do his in-game managing?
Well, this should be it. After the season, not after yesterday. After the season, I'm with you on that. I'm not giving him another year if this doesn't get cleaned up. What are you kidding me? No way.
And the only reason why there's even some semblance of positive, the only question was, well, let's see if he could pick his quarterback and develop him. So we needed to see that, and now through 4 weeks, we have seen that, and that's been in his favor.
Yeah, and it's the biggest thing you need in the NFL, so it's a big one.
Bingo. So then it's, well, does that outweigh the other areas of deficiency? And you could say that maybe he's going to learn, but he hasn't learned. And I don't remember ever watching a coach, like, either you're good or bad. Eventually you'll see that. Like, this guy's got it. This guy doesn't have it here, whatever it may be. And you go somewhere else and have some success. If that's the case with Bowles, let's say, for example, Gay's just not very good. I've never seen it to a point where I thought a guy could be good, and there has been some good, but continues to lose games in horrific fashion. Not having a kicker buttoned up. Like, are you just not respecting the importance of having a kicker? And if that was your mentality last year, how could you not learn from what went on a year ago to this year? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it. You know, certain things, when you start coaching an NFL team or as a rookie quarterback, like, things move faster than you can anticipate in the draft process or the combine or the pre-hire interviews. And it might take a year to assimilate. Hell, for some, if you don't have a lot of talent, it might take 2. It's year 4. It's year 4. I mean, if you don't know how to do things with the clock and timeouts to bury a team that you basically kick the crap out of all day, I just don't know what to tell you. I don't think you're ever going to get it. At least not for the team that you're currently coaching.
At least they have the franchise quarterback. All right, that does it for us. Thanks to Dove. Thanks to Hoff, as always. Thanks to everybody who listened and called. We appreciate each and every one of you.